isn't a Christmas episode. Why are you playing this? This is what we should be playing.
Wait, no. Relax your ass. This is totally a Christmas episode. It's got like the snow and the lights and the demonic Santa Claus. So I'm putting it back on.
No. Well, listen. Stop playing that because this isn't a Christmas episode. I feel like that would be like saying Die Hard.
I just don't understand why you can't just let me have things, you know?
Because I hate your guts.
Why are you always saying this stuff into the microphone?
I love saying this into the microphone.
I just don't feel like you should because I want people to think that we like each other on this show.
I don't want anyone to know that we're actually friends.
Oh my God, I just don't want to be here anymore.
You know what? I don't want you to be here either.
I don't care. Just play whatever you're going to play.
Hello, you beautiful freaks, and welcome to a brand new episode of Freakquels. I'm EJ Leeson, and with me today is my co-host, the most handsome man I've ever seen with my two eyes, Rory Calarasi.
What a lot of people don't know is that EJ Leeson is blind.
Legally
blind.
Not like Reese Witherspoon.
So I appreciate
She's
your
legally
compliment.
blonde.
Legally blind.
That's what I thought that movie was.
Yeah, would have been very different.
For the longest time, I thought that's the title of the movie. And I was like, what's the big deal?
Yeah, I think they should make that.
Yeah,
but
she goes to Harvard. Yeah.
But with you being, like, legally blind.
Yeah. Oh, no.
That might be edited out.
Keep it. Because I cough all the time.
Yeah, it's more authentic.
Yeah.
But with you being legally blind, yes, I think I don't buy the compliment, but I'll take it.
Oh, thank you very much.
So,
and we have a very special guest today. We got to meet him just recently. He's a local
20 minutes ago.
20 minutes ago. No, local filmmaker, legend, hero, and super handsome, the Brent Wilson. He goes by the Brent.
Yeah, you got to call him the Brent or he won't answer.
Yeah.
Well, this is the first time hearing about that, but okay.
That never happened to me before.
Nope.
But seriously, his license says the Brent Wilson.
Yeah. Middle name the. But what's up, man? How's it going?
Good. Can't complain.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of the weather, but, other than that, can't control that shit. So
yeah. It is like 10 degrees out.
About 10.
The wind is what is like literally killing us right now. But what's cool is, so you're a huge horror fan.
You know it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Since I was a little kid.
Yeah.
Horror
what was
movies were
your
the first horror movies or first movies I saw?
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. What was your like gateway, like the first horror movie you've probably seen? Do you what or earliest memory of a horror film?
Well, as embarrassing as it is, believe it or not, it was the original I Know What You Did Last Summer.
That's not embarrassing.
That's not embarrassing.
Yeah.
We love that movie.
Yeah.
No, we're on board.
All right.
Unapologetic.
I have the
fans.
soundtrack. Typo
awesome.
Negative. It's amazing. Yeah.
What's that song in that movie? It starts off. It's like I think it's the first song in the movie. It's like.
So it's Summer Breeze.
That's
Summer Breeze,
awesome.
Yeah, by Typo Negative.
That is the fucking coolest song ever.
Summer breeze, make me feel fine. Yeah, it's really good. It's awesome.
I'm
And
gonna
his
listen to that
voice
on
is
my way
like,
home.
dude, it's so good. It's so. Anyways, it's incredible. That whole soundtrack is like really good.
Summer breeze as I'm driving home in this.
And like his voice is so deep.
Yeah,
it's like it's awesome. It's sick.
He's got a real neat voice. That guy.
Yeah, and I think he was from Scranton.
Yeah.
Too.
What?
Yeah.
For real?
I think I think he died in Scranton as well. Like,
Really? He died?
Yeah, like in West Side, I think it was, or something. Like no joke. I'm serious. Like look it up.
I gotta look this up now.
Yeah. But anyways, but yeah, no. I Know What You Did Last Summer was your first like intro kind of like
And
thing you remember.
I'll tell you why. Because we read the book in middle school, sixth, 7th grade, and
The
the
Lois
book.
Duncan novel?
Yeah, and it's nothing like the movie. If you're familiar, it's totally different. They just took the basic structure from the book and made it a slasher movie, which the book is not.
Oh.
So we weren't allowed to watch the movie in school because it was rated R. And so I rented it. Remember Hollywood Video? Remember those days?
Oh
yeah.
my gosh, yeah.
So rented it from
I got
there.
kicked out of a few of those.
I believe it.
This isn't real Hollywood.
Real Hollywood doesn't make me wear pants when I come in.
I don't see that Johnny Depp guy anywhere. What's your problem, man?
You came in with a chip on your shoulder. Hollywood Video?
Yep. That's where we got the VHS again. Dating myself. And then I watched it with my mother because I was afraid. And every time there was a kill scene, I looked away. I was a real baby. And then eventually got over that shit.
Yeah.
And now
You
love
love.
Now you do your own kills. I guess. Yeah.
Now you picked
you
probably
better-
one of the most brutal movies of all time, right? Like you picked this movie that we're doing today.
I thought you
I
did
thought
last
you meant I
summer.
know
I'm
he
like,
did last summer.
well.
Like no.
No. I meant the movie we're covering today is probably one of like the most brutal slasher films.
Hilariously so.
Hilariously so.
It crosses into a realm of like silliness that I appreciate.
Yeah.
It just gets to a point where you're like, oh, we're not done yet. Okay.
Yeah.
It keeps going. There's like
think-
layers upon layers of gore, and it's awesome.
You think you've seen it all, and then they're like, nope, not yet.
this is just the midpoint of the massacre.
Yeah.
That'd be a good name for a metal band, Midpoint Massacre.
That is great.
I love it.
Jon Snow, write that down.
Hey, Jon Snow, Metal Messiah.
Typo negative cover thing, right?
Yeah,
And then you could call it Midsummer Massacre.
I've already forgotten what I said.
Yeah, I forgot what
It's
it was.
okay.
Midpoint
it's
or
gone.
something.
Midpoint.
It's gone.
Yeah, midpoint. Yeah.
It's that is just for the listeners now.
Yeah.
Forgotten by the host.
Forgotten. But yeah, so and then like what other horror movies? Like, what's your favorite horror movie now of all time? If you could pick, top
It's
three.
hard. Yeah, top
three?
well, Halloween, the original.
No, of course.
Of course.
yeah.
I don't want to sound so cliche, but
It's only a cliche because it's correct. I mean
that's
that.
a great way to put it.
Yeah, like when people are like, "Oh, I don't like Halloween," you're like, "Yeah, you do, you scumbag."
Yeah,
Yeah, you
they're
do.
just being pompous assholes when they say that.
I've met people who straight up hate horror movies, and I show them Halloween, they're like, "That's really good."
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I know.
The way I phrase it is, if there's people like friends that are afraid to watch horror movies, we all know some of those people. I'm like, if you only ever watch one horror movie in your life, watch Halloween.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it is a good gateway into that genre a little bit too.
for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
So and then what's two other favorites?
Probably the one we were talking about off air, Black Christmas.
Ah, yeah,
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah,
It's almost like spiritual cousins, Halloween and Black Christmas.
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Cut from the same cloth. I know, like, John Carpenter was influenced a little bit by that movie when he was making Halloween. You could feel it. It's
yeah.
in there,
Oh,
but
you-
Yeah, I feel
I'm
like
not like I ripped it
Not
off.
a ripoff, no.
Because
I feel like
how
Billy-
dare anybody accuse John Carpenter other than greatness?
but no, even like the beginning, yeah, with like Billy climbing up, and it's all like the
trellis.
POV,
Yeah.
So it feels very much like Little Michael when he's like going up to
yeah.
his sister's room.
Oh, yeah.
But okay, and what was your
One
last
more?
one?
I'll
yeah.
throw in a more obscure one for you.
Okay.
The Hitcher.
Okay.
The
Hitcher,
Yeah, the Hitcher rocks.
Rutger Hauer, and
Yeah.
C.
Thomas
Thomas
Howell.
Howell.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always forget his name. C. Thomas Howell. Yeah.
Yeah.
Little Pony Boy.
Yeah.
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 That's what he goes by these days.
Please, just call me
It's-
Pony Boy.
That's Mr. Pony Boy.
It's a shame he kind of fell off the radar. He only does
Yeah.
like asylum movies now or whatever. Like trash, like Z
Yeah.
budget stuff. I mean, hey, whatever. Cool.
It's a living.
It's a living, right?
I think the last movie I saw him in, it was a low budget one. It was like The Killer Donuts or something.
Attack of
Really?
the Killer Donuts.
Yeah, Attack of the Killer Donuts.
That's a real movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, and C. Thomas Howell was in it. Yeah.
I kind of want to see that right now.
Yeah.
Let's not review Terrifier 3 and go watch Attack of the Killer Donuts.
Yeah.
Please tell me there's like obnoxious product placement in it.
No
The
product
killer's name
placement.
is Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh no, it's Duncan.
It's Dunkin'.
It's like Stripe of the Gremlins.
Yeah.
No, but
I'm baking an army.
there's like movies
Stop.
I'll just watch on Tubi. I don't know why. I'll just like come across something and it's like Killer Pinata, right? And I'm like, oh, I gotta watch this.
Tubi has some real gems, don't they?
Yeah, they really do. It's like, it's wild to me. I pay for like 8 different apps, like movie streaming apps and stuff, and Tubi's the one I probably watch the most, and it's free.
Yeah, it's funny, right?
It's a wild.
Tubi has a anything's welcome policy that I appreciate.
Yeah, and
It
you know
doesn't
what?
matter how good or bad it is.
Yep.
They have all the Slumber Party Massacres on there, and I'm like,
But then,
that rules.
but then sometimes you'll like be scrolling and there's like, oh, Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah,
You know, it's not all like the stupid
wild.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, what?
Yeah.
It's like literally Andy, climbing through that pipe of shit, and you find
Only to
some
come out clean on the other side.
and you come out clean on the other side. But all right, let's get into like
Brent crawled through a river of Tubi.
yeah,
Only to come out clean on the other side.
But what are some movies you guys have seen recently?
We'll start with a guest.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy. Most recent one, just at Cinemark this past weekend, Nosferatu.
Oh yeah,
Finally. Yeah.
How'd you like it?
I don't know. Mixed a little bit.
Mixed?
You know,
Just being-
I was
it
like,
was good. It was,
Yeah.
but and it was visually striking. You
Yeah.
know, beautiful to look at. And the way he composes the shots. Story wise, it wasn't anything special, which is fine. You don't need it to be special. He basically took the template from the
original.
silent version.
Yeah, and
And
Dracula.
modern.
Yeah.
Well,
Dracula.
yeah.
But yeah,
I'll tell you one thing. I saw with some friends and who saw the old versions, both
Yeah.
the 70s German one, which I haven't seen, and
Oh,
then
okay.
the old silent one.
both on Tubi,
It,
by the way.
of course. Yeah.
Herzog.
But anyway, we got out of there. We got out of the auditorium, and he said, "Friend, what do you think?" And the first thing he says is, "Well, I wasn't expecting the mustache on
Oh,
Bill
yeah.
Skarsgård." He goes, "That threw me off a little bit," and got the whole pedo stash going.
yeah, that's what Chris, our buddy,
Yeah.
was like. You look like Dr. Robotnik to me, and ever since he said that, I'm like, yeah, I guess. I don't know, but yeah,
I
can see that.
I like the little things that break movies for people. It's like this beautifully shot, beautifully acted movie, and someone's like, mustache, fuck this movie.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
Did you fall asleep through everything else?
I think
Yeah.
Chris did. I think once he saw the
He
mustache,
did.
he said,
Kristen
yeah.
told me.
Yeah.
He saw the mustache and passed out. it was like he took Ambien or something.
Yeah, he's just like, oh, he has a mustache in this? I'm out.
Well, I only stay awake for villains with no mustache.
Yeah. I like my villains with no mustache, please. But
I like my slashers, not my stashers.
yeah. How about anything else that you've seen? Any Oscar movies or Golden Globe winners?
What are you doing?
I don't know. I'm not promoting anything.
I was gonna say, do we have to keep to horror because most horror movies don't have Oscars?
I
You
know.
that.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
No, I so
One
like
day.
nothing that's currently out.
No,
No. Okay.
that was the first time I've been to Cinemark in a while. You got to
Yeah?
be very selective these days with movies that you go see because tickets are expensive.
Yeah,
You
that's
know?
true.
and some of them are not worth what you
Exactly,
pay.
my point. Right?
You're like,
yeah.
I make this joke a lot where it's so often that I leave the movie theater not liking or hating the movie. It's just kind of like,
Yeah.
and that was $20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a $20 shrug.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. All right. How about you, Roy?
This was not a big movie week for me. No, seriously, because I was telling them before.
Oh, you were sick too. right?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
Well, sort of. Before the show, I was telling them I like never get sick. Like the last time I think I was sick was like 2018 or something like that. It's been a while. So, and even like with COVID, if I ever got COVID, I wasn't aware of it.
Right.
My body, however, periodically will do this thing where it's like I know something's trying to get in, but it won't commit to it.
Yeah.
So like I don't feel sick, but like I've got this weird thing in my throat right now, which is making me like cough.
You sound
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, like I sound lower. So
Yeah.
get used to this sound. Me leaning into the mic.
Everyone's like, "Woo!"
Yeah. But
Fan
like
of
you know,
themselves.
I've been sort of in a weird health funk, but also because last week a lot of people don't know this, but before we actually recorded our episode, our tech decided I'm not working anymore.
Yeah.
So like we all kind of had to go into this mode where we had to take a couple different other available pieces of tech and splice them together and get an episode produced. If you listen to our Twilight Zone episode, you would never think something was wrong, but it almost didn't happen, but we made it work.
Yeah.
So this whole week has been, I've been investing in new tech for Freakquels.
Yeah.
To make it sound better, and got us all new mics and shit.
Hell yeah.
So my apartment has been flooded with boxes.
I'm sure Pumpkin and they're going crazy. They're probably oh, this is all for us now.
Yeah, I couldn't find Pumpkin at one point, and I looked down at this box, and he was staring up at me, and I'm like, God, you're fucking cute. You are so handsome. But as a result, it's been a little bit of a busy, week of sorts. So what I've been watching instead, I got caught up on Dexter Original Sin.
Yeah.
Are you a Dexter fan, Brent?
I've seen the original. I haven't seen the new ones.
You know, man, it's
good.
It seems like the show should be a big ass disaster, but it's actually quite good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I have a couple minor complaints with it, but it's like it's so much better than what it should be. You know what I mean? Like the guy playing Dexter, Patrick Gibson, is like he is young Dexter. Yeah. It's so weird. He has like all like the little like facial expressions down, the way he like delivers his lines. It's like, but it doesn't sound like he's doing like an impersonation.
Yeah.
He's like doing his own thing, but he's channeling Michael C. Hall perfectly, and it's like really something.
Yeah.
I also watched Midnight Mass. Have you watched that yet, EJ?
I have not.
Have you seen that?
It's on my watch list for 3 years now.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to like overhype this one, but Midnight Mass, this is my second time watching it. I just had Becca watch it. Midnight Mass is probably one of my favorite horror projects of like the last like 20 some years.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. But it's like, you know how sometimes we talk about how there's like really great horror that has horror in it, but it's saying something else. There's like social commentary to it. Yeah. That's what that show is. It's like a giant discussion on like belief systems and
dude, I have to watch it. Yeah.
Now, for you specifically, what I think you'd really get a lot out of, because you do the stage, you do plays, and the some of the dialogue in it, man, there's like these monologues in it, and I heard some people complain about like how long some of them were, and I'm just like, what are you, fucking stupid? No, I'm just kidding. But these beautifully written discussions about like, just like what people believe, where you go when it's all over.
Yeah.
And it's not very like, it's not film dialogue. It's like something that's almost meant for the stage, but somehow works within the story. Yeah. But it's like sometimes you're listening to it and you're like, why is Mike Flanagan as talented as he is?
He is incredible.
He's a beautiful writer, and it's never been displayed better than when on the show. Like some of the, Kate Siegel.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Like
she's great.
I think she might actually, when people talk about like Scream Queens, I think she's actually my favorite.
Wow.
Because like whenever she shows up in anything, and I'm like, okay, this isn't gonna suck. Yeah. Because she's just so good. But there's so many parts in it where like they're just talking, and I'm like, man, like this is so, like I gotta try harder.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Wow.
Yeah. Like, but I recommend it, man. I even like the way it starts, the midpoint, the ending. To me, it's like haunting.
I'll stop watching trash movies and
well,
do that.
At some point down the road, I might even want to do something with it for the show.
Oh, okay. Hell yeah.
But it's only like 7 episodes.
Oh, yeah.
So it's nothing. It's just like a limited series too. Yeah. So it's
I think I'll really like that show too.
Yeah, I mean, and again, like when you get, because I'm trying really hard not to say too much about it.
Yeah.
Because I want you to just have that discovery that I did while watching and being, what the fuck is this all about? And you're like, oh, that's neat.
Yeah.
Oh, that's neat. Oh, okay. Like this is the craziest fucking thing.
Yeah.
It's a really cool concept. But like it's like a horror story, but it's not really.
Yeah.
Like you feel, and like when the horror is there, it's great, it's effective, it's Mike Flanagan.
Yeah.
But when you get into like what it's about, you're like, man, that guy's
so good.
I love him.
He's a genius.
He is.
He really is. Yeah, like who would have ever been like, let's make a sequel to The Shining and it's gonna work. I would be like, yeah, right.
And
no
not
way.
not only that, but then I'll put out a director's cut, like an extended one, and it'll be better.
Yeah.
I know. It's like, what?
Yeah.
It's just crazy. And The Haunting of Hill House was like a phenomenon
It was.
when that came out.
That's probably my second favorite thing of the last 20 years. A lot of the stuff, it's Mike Flanagan projects.
Yeah, he's incredible. I wish he would do more films like that got theatrical releases too.
He's one
But
of
he's
those
so
guys,
good
though.
at like such a workhorse. Like he's doing like TV shows and movies. And
He's one of the only filmmakers that I can think of. Like if Martin Scorsese came out and was like, I'm going to do a TV show, there'd be a part of me that was like a little disappointed.
Yeah.
But like Mike Flanagan is a guy where it's like he could do television and he can do film, and they're both feel like natural to him.
Like so high quality.
Yeah, like he
great,
understands
and
the
it's just-
mediums.
yeah.
Like how to get the best out of both. Last little thing I'll mention. Last night Becca wanted to continue on with our Land Before Time
Oh.
marathon. We are on part
What?
8.
Part 8?
The Big Freeze.
So
That's quite the change.
I know.
so they're getting into the Ice Age right now?
No, I was kind of hoping for that. There's some sick part of me that's like, finally get to see them all die. But no.
Finally.
Yeah.
What is it? Littlefoot?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I was like, I want to see him get buried. I want to
just
see a little
wanna see-
funeral.
I just want to see this giant thing hit Earth, and then you just see his skin rip
Yeah.
away like Sarah Connor in Terminator 2, where she's on the fence. She's like,
Her name is Sarah too. The little.
oh,
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah. So
Maybe she could be like at a playground watching little dinosaurs play.
No, her friends play.
Yeah.
And you see like the he radiates out, all her
she's
friends
like,
die. That's what I was waiting for, but instead they didn't commit. Last
time.
thing
Next one.
last thing I'll mention is I've been also knee deep in rewatching Seinfeld.
Yeah. I heard of that show.
Yeah, it's I don't know what it is, man. Like when I was a kid, I'd see it on, and I was like, "That's funny."
Yeah.
As I get older, I'm like, I really relate with the show. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Oh,
Like when you
definitely.
just like fixate on the stupid little things that people say and do, and you're just like, I don't know. It's that's a really really funny show.
It's really, really good. And I always say this. Our friend, Chris Conforti, is George
He is
Costanza.
George
in real
Costanza
life.
to
Yeah.
a T.
To a T. It's insane. Like, so the stuff that happens to him, and he'll tell you, and you're like, oh my god, that's like George Costanza right
So
there.
sometimes I get like text messages from Chris about something that's like bothering him, like something he's like boycotting,
Yeah.
and it's just like literally over something so like George Costanza-ish.
I'm like, I'm telling you, it sucks, and I'll tell you why. I'm boycotting it because they didn't like do this one little thing, and you're like, what?
They said this thing, but they meant this thing, Jerry.
But I know what they meant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you?
Okay, so I
What
saw
did you watch?
I saw a couple movies recently. I went to see like we've been watching the Hobbit films, and we just completed them.
I was
And
gonna say, are you still watching them?
yeah, still getting through it. Still getting through that. But Robin and I now we just finished Lord of the Rings.
Ooh.
Fellowship of the Ring.
Are
So-
you watching the theatrical cut or the extended ones?
So
The correct answer is the extended ones.
it is the correct answer, but I just really want Robin to like them, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna like.
So why didn't you watch the extended ones?
I was like, I don't know if they'd be too long for her. You know what I mean?
I
I think
see.
like the next time we watched it, then she would be like probably more into it. But yeah, she really likes Lord of the Rings so far.
Awesome.
Just have an intermission if they're too long.
Yeah,
Make your own.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Stretch your legs.
Act 1. All right, they got to Rivendell, so let's go.
Go for a drive.
So we watched those, and then I went to see A Complete Unknown again.
Awesome.
Oh, heard good things.
It's
really,
really,
really
good.
good.
Yeah.
Timothée
Chalamet.
Chalamet. He is, man, he's
Remarkable.
Yeah, he's like definitely the future of Hollywood for sure. I
Yeah,
feel
and,
like-
and it doesn't make you
or
feel.
film,
It doesn't make
future
you
of
feel
film.
sad to say that either.
No.
He seems to like really like take his work seriously, but then he seems kind of goofy.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
good for him.
Yeah. And then Elle Fanning was like amazing. Boyd Holbrook was Johnny
Elle
Cash.
Fanning is a quality actor.
Hey, Sylvie. Yeah.
I kept saying that to Becca for like a couple days after he saw like,
hey, Sylvie. Hey, Sylvie.
no, I love Elle Fanning since I think Super 8 was the first time I saw her.
Yeah.
You ever see that movie, Super 8?
Yeah.
That's great.
Oh yeah, she was like what, 10 years
Yeah,
old? in there?
I love that scene when like in Super 8 when she's like acting for the first time in front of all the boys, and they're all just like staring at her like, holy shit, she's so good.
Yeah.
The kids just out with the crowd.
But yeah, that movie, wow, it's so good. And then Ed Norton, I forgot, I have to mention him too. He is so good in that movie.
He's in that?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
He plays Pete Seeger, and it's like, it's actually really good. It's not, it doesn't feel like Ed Norton at all.
No,
it really is
his speech patterns are fucking so easy to listen to.
And he's just so fun and like a positive guy, you know? And so it's really cool. And then I went to see Better Man. Did you see it yet?
No, that's gonna likely be this weekend that I see that.
Okay.
And I better hurry because it didn't do hot.
Yeah, I was gonna say it didn't do good at all.
Bit of a bomb.
Man, I went with my friend Pashi, and so the two of us were sitting there alone in the theater, right?
Yeah.
And like no one else came in. And at one point we were both like really, it got really emotional, and it was such a good movie though. I really liked it a lot. Yeah, the director is I forget, like I think it's like John Lacey or something who did The Greatest Showman.
Yeah.
And or no, Michael Gracie, that's it. But you could tell like there's touches of like, you know, he's a great filmmaker.
Yeah.
Yeah. He has like a little bit of like classic Hollywood stuff going on. This one, not like, especially Greatest Showman, but this one, he, you know, like, I don't know. It's really good.
I'm
definitely
excited
recommend
to
it.
see it.
Friend
of the show, Dave Gonzalez, talked that up a couple months ago, saying it was like really, really, really good. Said it got him real emotional and stuff.
Yeah. It's weird because you wouldn't imagine yourself getting really emotional, but there are just a couple scenes in
The monkey in the movie?
Yeah.
Of course I'm going to get emotional. I'm going to look at that monkey, and I'm just going to be like, I just want good things to happen to you.
Well, you know me, I love Planet of the Apes, so I was
Yeah,
like,
man.
oh, I'm in. I'm in on this ape.
EJ's my ape friend.
Yeah, that's true.
If there's a movie with an ape in it, we're going to talk about it. We're going to dissect it.
Yeah.
We're
One
gonna
of those.
geek out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was really good, and I'm such a huge fan of Robbie Williams' like music since like the 90s anyway. So it was cool. It was awesome. And I think that's pretty much it as far as new stuff that I watched, besides just like trash reality TV shows that I love too.
And you did watch something new recently that we're going to review today.
Yes.
New-ish.
New-ish. Okay, so this is my second time seeing it.
Me too.
So I saw.
How about you?
Saw it
Guy
twice.
who picked this movie.
Saw it twice, in
Yeah.
theaters,
Oh, in theaters. Okay.
Yeah. So
Both
not
times?
recently, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, I saw it twice. I saw it once in theaters with you and everybody, and then for
EJ
the
had to
podcast,
hold
I
me while we were
just-
watching it because I was so scared.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then our buddy who we talked about, George Costanza, Chris Conforti, dressed up as Art the Clown and hung out at Regal, taking pictures with everybody and stuff.
God.
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
see him
it
on
was
the
really
news
good.
getting arrested.
I was about to say.
Just getting carted off.
Yeah.
Don't touch him.
So he's more diehard than me because even I don't do that shit.
Yeah,
I don't dress up.
Well, the theater asked him to do it and stuff because
But when they just like, hey, you look fucked up.
yeah, look at your face. He's a regular up at Regal, and I don't even know how it happened, but
He probably went up and asked them.
Yeah, he was
knowing
like-
Chris, he's probably just
like, I
like,
got all
hey,
the-
you need a guy?
yeah, I got the gear.
I mean, we don't know why we'd need you to do that, but yeah, sure.
Yeah, and now he gets like free popcorn and soda for like a year. I think he got like just because of him doing it. But
Holy shit.
yeah, he actually went all out with like
The makeup?
the makeup and
Holy
stuff.
God.
So,
And he chopped somebody up, too, just to show them how hardcore he was.
Yeah,
Like, we don't need you to do that, but I mean,
You don't have to do that,
But
Chris.
you'll get free popcorn for a year.
Yeah.
Depending on how fucked up you are, we might give you all the money on the register too.
Yeah. But yeah, no. So and then I just recently I had to rent it to watch it again. So I just rented it to watch it so I could take my notes and stuff. And on the second watch, it was still fun. I still liked it. Yeah, but it's a cool movie. I feel like there's David Howard Thornton is incredible to watch.
He is.
He's so charismatic.
He is like. I think he and Lauren Lavera really carry that whole thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I will say though, because I rewatched it on Monday, and as soon as I saw that 2 hour and 5 minute runtime, I was annoyed.
Yeah.
I was like, why is this movie so long?
It's shorter than the second one.
I know. And the second one
By a
annoyed
half
the
hour,
shit
too.
out of me.
Yeah.
My girlfriend and I, we had just come back from Salem when we went to see that.
Yeah.
We thought we were walking into the standard hour and a half, hour 40 minutes. We were both kind of tired and we're like, let's just see this. And holy shit, that movie's almost like the length of a Batman movie.
Yeah.
Almost 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
I'm like, why is this so long?
Something
He wanted to
in
make-
the way.
He wanted to make the Gone with the Wind to slasher movies.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I too was like, man, this 2.5 hours is killing me. When I saw it, I have come around.
Yeah,
to like
dude,
it
it's
more.
not
Yeah.
it's not a thing where with any of these movies I've ever been particularly miserable watching them or anything like that, but sometimes I look at those running times and I'm like, and I get it. We'll probably talk about this a little bit more later, but you can't really judge these movies too harshly for their running times because it's basically like a normal film with elongated murder scenes. So
Pretty
it's
much.
sort of like
Yeah.
a structure that they're dropping in 20 extra minutes of murder.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And they know
absolutely.
what their audience wants to see, so they're not doing anything they shouldn't be doing, but sometimes you're just like, all right.
All right.
If someone asked me
Excessive.
what should we cut out, I wouldn't have an answer, maybe some notes, but
Yeah.
but jeepers, 2 hours and 5 minutes.
Yeah. It is quite a long movie. No,
Movies
but
like this, I think, fare better about an hour 30, hour 40.
I think so too.
Was it Halloween H2O the last time I watched it? I'm like, this movie's 84 fucking minutes.
I know. it's
What a
perfect.
hero.
Yeah. What a great movie too.
So, yeah. Want to get into this shit?
Yeah, the crazy thing is, I have, so I worked, Monday, Tuesday, 12-hour shifts, and I work overnight, and then I had rehearsals on top of that.
Jesus.
So today, I did not, I worked overnight last night. So I've been up for over 24 hours now, and I wrote the movie out today because I was so busy with rehearsals the last 2 days.
Wait, let me take a look at your notes. All work and no play makes
EJ, a doughboy.
dope boy.
But yeah, no, I haven't slept, but it's just been insane, crazy busy with rehearsals and stuff.
God, I thought I was busy until I heard your schedule. Jesus, if I don't go without my sleep, I'm miserable as shit. I'm not going to be here doing this. I'm not going to be doing anything if I don't get my sleep.
I don't know how I'm alive right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's
I don't
probably
even
that
know.
white powder I saw you stuffing up your nose before.
Yeah,
Before we started this thing.
yeah.
I was like,
That's
EJ, what
probably
are you
it.
doing?
In Better Man, there's a lot of cocaine. A lot of cocaine.
Well, he is
Yeah.
the better man.
He is the better man. But yeah, let's get into the breakdown of this film. So, the film starts out present day Christmas Eve. There is a lot of time jumps in this movie. Just to give you a heads up, because it starts present day Christmas Eve, and then it'll jump back a couple years. And then
Was there a need for it? No.
no, but just I guess
But it's
to
a good
show
way
you
to
where,
open the
yeah.
movie.
And then it jumps back to present day, but a week before the opening scene. So there's some weird time jumps, just to give you a heads up right out the gate. There's some stuff going on, but and I'm not crazy about time jumps. It worked for this though. Some movies I'm like, man, there's way too many time jumps right out the gate. But it worked for this. Anyways, so the film starts present day Christmas Eve, and we see this little girl. She wakes up out of bed, and she thinks she heard Santa Claus. So she runs down and she sees it's actually Art the Clown in a Santa costume, but she thinks it's Santa Claus. So she like runs and she's trying to tell her family. And, the brother doesn't care. No one in the family really cares. Maybe the mom. I don't know what was going on with the dad in this family.
I do.
What?
He said, I have to get up in 3 hours.
Yeah.
I completely identify with that man.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you're watching the movie and you're like, get up, guy. But I'm, like, looking at him at this stage of my life, and I'm like, I know what that's like.
I'd be doing the same thing.
Yeah.
I'd be like, leave me alone.
Please,
Yeah.
please, I hate my life.
Please,
Just let me have 3 more hours
I
of
was
joy.
like, what?
He says I have work in 3 hours. Or does he say I have to wake up or I have work in 3 hours?
I think he said he has to wake up.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if he has work in 3 hours, he still has less sleep.
Yep.
I'm like, geez, leave the man alone.
This is like one thing.
Art cutting him up was probably like a mercy for him.
Yeah.
I'll be like, God, get me out of here.
He's like, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for giving me what I wanted for Christmas.
This is what I wanted. But yeah, this is like one weird trope in horror movies sometimes that I'm not crazy about, is making all the victims always like unlikable or jerks. Like Freddy vs. Jason, we talk about like the boyfriend in the beginning.
Sure.
And
all of those people.
yeah, like
The
they're
whole
all
movie, the
so
whole-
unlikable.
Yeah.
But
Watch Midnight Mass.
oh, okay. But
You want to talk about like adding humanity to even your most unlikable characters?
Yeah.
Watch Midnight Mass.
But I think that's why like certain movies like back in like the 90s, like Scream is a good example. Like Scream has the first Scream. All the characters are really likable. There isn't like a jerk among them. You know what I mean? And so I think a lot of movies nowadays are like, just make this person a jerk. No
They
one will
Eli
care.
Roth it.
Yeah, like
They're like,
just
make
throw
them
it.
obnoxious frat boys so that you're just begging to see them get their heads cut off. The only one I'll say, and we'll get to him,
Yeah.
but I think the Santa Claus in this, the actual...
Oh, yeah.
His whole demise is really effective because he actually is kind of like a nice guy.
Yeah.
And you feel bad for him.
Exactly. Yeah, he didn't really do anything wrong.
I know, he's like being
You know?
really accommodating.
Yeah.
I mean, he like puts up with Art until he absolutely is just like, all right, get the fuck out of here. Bud."
Okay. Yeah, he like pisses on him.
Pisses on him.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, that's enough. But
I'll still pay for your drinks, but I'm going to need you to get out of here. That's the kind of guy he is.
finally, the little girl sees who she thought was Santa, but it's really Art. And he goes upstairs and he first kills like the little brother, and then he goes in and he kills the father, and he like chops them up. It's not like just one like boom, like with an axe. He literally is like chopping them up for a while.
This is Terrifier. It has to be overkill.
Yeah, it's like overkill. And so then he basically kills the little girl's family, even the mom. At one point the mom kind of like runs out and she sees like her kid and then the husband, and she runs downstairs.
And she can't unlock the door from the inside. Classic.
Yeah. I hate when that happens.
It's metal. God damn it, it's metal.
It's metal. But she gets like
That's
a
a
crazy
Halloween 4 reference.
Yep.
it's a crazy kind of death because she gets her arm chopped off. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna chop this arm off, and then he like hits her in the head with the axe. And the little girl, she ends up hiding, and we see Art helps himself to some of the cookies and milk. I did like that. I thought that was
It's
funny.
really funny.
And he washes
And then
the dishes.
cleans up.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
like cleans up after, like himself, like after eating. And that's when he finds the little girl hiding. We don't know what happens to her. We can only assume. But boom.
I'm
the
going to tell you,
credits roll
nothing
up.
good happened to her.
Yeah. She'll be okay. So the credits come up. It's Terrifier 3. Then we cut back to a few years earlier.
Before we jump into that, just right out of the gate,
Yeah.
I love the way this movie looks when it starts.
Yeah.
I really do. Because
Yeah.
I remember like my girlfriend, when we watched the first Terrifier, she said that it looked like a Pizza Hut commercial. and that stayed with me because I think that was like the funniest way to
Book
explain
it.
that.
Yeah.
because it's like all the lighting's kind of like flat and it's not a good looking flick. But then the second one looks much better.
Oh yeah.
This one
it has like a neon kind of thing.
It kind
look
of
to it.
I don't know if it's gonna sound weird, but it kind of reminds me a little bit of like Dream Warriors. Like
the second one?
Like just aesthetically a little bit, because some of that like weird like fantasy shit that they started bringing into it and stuff.
Yeah, okay.
Good comparison.
But like for this one, like I love that the footage looked a little grainy. It had like the Christmas lights. It actually had like a very old school 1980s slasher film look.
Yeah, it did.
And I was like, I love that. Even the music kind of had like a little bit of that old school flair to it. And I was like, I'm liking this one better than the other two.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they're starting to kind of figure out what they're doing with their filmmaking.
Yeah.
Because this one felt more streamlined than the other two.
Yeah. I think, like, credit to the first one. They really had, like, zero to little budget.
$35K.
Yeah.
Actually.
Which is insane.
Which is nothing.
Nonsense.
That's pennies.
Yeah.
Can you imagine, like, how much they've probably made on that movie since?
Well, and the thing is, I have to give Damien Leone a lot of credit.
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
And I told him that when I met him. I met him at a con 2 months ago. And I said, I don't
Was
like...
it Monster Mania?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please tell me you weren't there.
No.
We were there.
Were we there?
What?
The one in the Oaks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were there. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the
How
second
crazy.
time. Well, I didn't see you there, but still.
Do you remember when they called the cops on those two guys?
That was us.
That was us. We
That
were
was
actually
us.
being ushered out.
Is that for real?
No.
I mean, not that we can legally admit to.
Right. We are not in the wrong.
No.
Yes. But I told him, and I don't really like the first Terrifier. I still don't.
Oh, right. Yeah.
But once I found out what he had to make it with, 35 grand, which again, like you said, is nothing. I said to him when I met him, I said, I'm not a huge fan of the first one, but you have to be commended for even getting it made with that amount of money.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that's crazy.
Did he like roll a tear, and was he just like, what did you like about it?
He didn't roll a tear, but he was like...
he just picked up a wad of money and he just wiped that tear away.
And I was like, oh yeah, by the way.
Sorry. It's like I get emotional every time.
You're like, I didn't really like the first one. Then like a legion of Terrifier fans drag you away, never to be seen again.
Well, I always said the first one's kind of like a highlight reel of
sizzle reel.
It's a proof of concept, pretty much.
Yeah, it's like a highlight reel of just like what I could do with special effects. But
And thank God they got that David Howard Thornton.
Oh my
Because
God.
like
Oh, yeah.
that would have like you would never have heard about that again if they didn't land that guy, because he is just like it's even that first one. 'Cause I'm with you. Like I'm not in love with it.
Yeah.
I respect it more than I enjoy it.
Right.
If that makes sense.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
yeah.
But like it's undeniable that when you watch him, you're like, this guy is just like swinging for the fences.
Yeah.
Like he's not just like, oh, I'm in like some low budget thing. Who cares?
Right.
Yeah.
Like Carrie Elways in the first Saw.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
God.
No one's ever gonna see this. And like, and then like with him, he's just putting his heart into it, and he's so much fun to watch, and the makeup looks cool, the costume looks cool.
Yeah.
So I feel like if Damien Leone is just like, good for him.
He struck gold.
Yeah.
He did.
He really did.
Do you know what he did, Thornton, before he got cast in this movie? Do you know what he used to do?
What?
He used to teach kindergarten. And I'm not making that up.
Wow.
Look that shit up.
Wow.
Imagine being like, yeah, my teachers aren't the clown.
Wow.
Do you remember Mr. Thornton from high school or from kindergarten? And they're like, yeah, he's Art the Clown now.
He's like, they're like, well, what should we do with these kid actors in this movie? He's like, well, I'm going to take some of what I used to do in school and apply it to this movie. There's a reason I'm not a teacher anymore.
Yeah, he just saws a kid in half. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I did not know that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
There's my note. This movie looks great. Cool.
Yeah.
Cross that off.
So we cut back to the end of Terrifier 2 at the like circus, kind of like the Coney Island fun house, yeah. And where the finale of 2 was. And this cop finds a decapitated Art, and the body ends up coming back to life and takes the cop's head. He just like rips it off, puts it on, and we see in the subway, like
He
he's
has it
taking
duct taped on his thing. Did you notice that?
yeah,
On his torso?
yeah, it's like duct taped. Yeah, and it just looks so awkward and weird. Then the film cuts to Chris Jericho at the hospital, who finds Icky Vicky, eating an orderly, And Y2J gets Y2 slayed by Vicky. Nailed it. Nailed it.
By the way, that moment when he walks in and he sees possibly the craziest thing ever committed to film.
Yeah.
There's Vicky doing her thing.
She's like eating the guard.
Yeah.
With a decapitated art head that she gave birth to.
Yeah, that she's like, and he's like biting somebody.
Yeah, he's like also chewing on her.
Chewing on something, yeah.
And I'm just sitting there thinking, like, Damien Leone, God bless you. And I mean that. Because I'm like, I go to the movie so often, and it's just sort of like, everyone plays it so safe. And I'm watching this, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But like in like a good way.
Yeah. And you're only 10 minutes in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, wow, this is possibly maybe the craziest shot of all of 2024.
Yeah.
Right?
I would say so.
Yeah. Like, what's going on there? If you like just had someone walk into that moment, they have never seen the other two, and they walked in just right at that moment, they'd be like, I'm done.
This?
They turn around and walk out. Yeah.
Especially the
This
death
isn't Sound of
like
Freedom.
Chris Jericho.
What's up?
Like, his death is pretty insane because they just like rip off his face. Like, they're just like, and then like break his jaw, and you're like, yeah, that's a one way to do it.
Remember when in horror movies when you just kind of get stabbed?
Yeah. Now like people are just ripping off your skin.
Yeah, like you don't just get to like bleed out
no
respectively anymore. Now they just have to like rip your face off, put your face on, embarrass you with your face.
You're not like Linderman and Freddy vs. Jason where you die a peaceful death by the tree.
Yeah, he just kind of he gets to have a moment, be a hero, bleed out respectfully. Although I think we did add in our episode for Freddy vs. Jason that he was dragged off by a bear after Kia ran away.
Yeah,
like, I'm ready to
into
go.
A cave.
Ripping them apart.
But we see that Vicky and now Art, who has his original head back, they hop on a subway train, and as they're sitting there, we see someone dressed up as Art kind of get onto the train.
Did you notice that the pigeon lady from Home Alone 2 was on the train?
Yo, yeah. I was like, oh, that's good.
It looks just like her.
Yeah.
What if Art gave her turtle doves?
Oh my god, that would have been the end of the movie for me.
I'm just wanting to get that Home Alone 2 reference in there.
I love it.
Also, well, I'll probably talk more about this as we go along because I asked this multiple times in my notes. What is the plot of Terrifier 3?
We'll get there.
We'll get there because I don't know.
That's a separate discussion.
Yeah, we're gonna put that on my side notes right here.
Yeah.
Plot ?
We'll do my favorite thing.
Oh.
We'll circle back to that.
How dare I forget this? By the way, and the Chris Jericho, is that his name?
Yeah.
He was watching Plan 9 from Outer Space.
Yeah, which was awesome.
It warmed my heart.
Yeah,
I love Ed Wood.
Me too. But yeah, they get on the train, and Art gets a new costume, and then they arrive to the Notebook house, where Art and Vicky kind of make themselves at home, and Art takes a seat, and Vicky jumps in the bath and like cuts herself up a little bit, and then they just
That's
rest.
me after work.
They hibernate.
Yeah, they just like rest. They're like, that's a night. And they just
it's weird. Like, I don't fully understand this. They like Art powers down.
Pretty much, yeah.
I guess
That's what
so.
it
I don't
seems
know
like.
why.
Yeah.
I don't know why
He was
they
tired.
come back.
A descendant of the Energizer Bunny, perhaps.
Yeah, I think
Like
he
a
was,
guy who runs on a battery.
I think he was just waiting for the next Black Christmas remake.
It does look like.
I was about to say.
Yeah.
In this movie, there's already been a couple of really funny references, like back at the house when he's cutting up the family with the axe. There's a Shining homage.
Yep.
Of course, yeah.
There's obviously a Black Christmas homage going on right there in the rocking chair.
Oh,
and
yeah.
the windows kind of look like the Amityville Horror, right?
Yeah.
So it's like Damien Leone, you clearly love the genre.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm happy for the guy.
So,
by the way, great mouse actors. Just putting that out.
yeah, just running through and having a good time.
Yeah, they're like, there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is actually their first gig they got. that year, because then they later on went and enacted in Nosferatu.
Oh yeah, the new one.
Yeah, they were all like, "Man, this is a good year to be a mouse,
What a good year for us.
getting paid and all that sweet cheese."
So we go back to another time jump, which is back to present day, but like a week before.
Jesus.
I know. Where we see Sienna's uncle is going to pick her up.
Who could have been played by Devon Sawa? Like an
Yeah.
older
Oh
Devon
my
Sawa.
God, for real.
Yeah.
I never thought of that.
Yeah.
He kind of reminded me of like Devon Sawa on the Chucky show.
Yeah.
I totally see that. Totally the same
Yeah.
same vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That man could literally do anything.
Yeah.
He
It's
played
all
the
of it.
president, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always loved him.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, me
Anton
too.
Tobias on Idle Hands.
Idle Hands is so good.
Don't forget Final Destination.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
first one.
Alex Browning. Yeah.
We
Love
got
it.
another one of those coming out too.
Yeah. Casper.
Yeah, he's in Casper.
Yeah.
He's a dead child.
What's his name in The Little Giant? Because remember, he's in that too.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
He was like, whenever they needed like the love interest for a girl in a movie, they're like, get Devon Sawa on the phone.
Get that Sawa kid over here.
Yeah, because he was in like everything. Remember that movie? What's it called? Now and Then.
Now and then.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's in
with
that.
Christina Ricci
Yeah.
as well. Yeah. Yeah, that's
That's
right.
a reference for you kids.
So, we see where Sienna's uncle picks her up from the hospital, and she's going with him to visit for Christmas. And we see that Sienna is Sienna, really close with her cousin Gabby. Like she gets there, and we see the aunt, and we see Gabby, and Gabby is probably like 12 or 13. But she's really close with her, and
again, just throwing this out there, Lauren Lavera.
yeah,
Just anyone else that played that part would have done it a certain way. And
Yeah.
she's like literally playing that, giving that character some authenticity.
yeah.
I think she cares. Like you could tell, like she's really just trying to act in this movie. She's so
think that's
good.
What's crazy is like the second one, she's good, but she's even better in the third one.
I think so too. Like she's
And,
like,
you know,
going
like
for
most
it.
people like phone in after like, oh, I have to do a sequel, and they kind of like phone in the sequel. She's like the opposite, where she's like, I'm just gonna get better.
Yeah.
You know? And it's
I
awesome.
think she's awesome in this movie.
yeah.
is.
I
She
don't.
really is.
I don't think they properly utilize her character, but we could talk about more about that later.
Yeah.
But like
agree.
she definitely like lights the movie up in a big bad way.
Yeah.
So over at Art's place, we get these guys, a duo of like demolition guys who show up without tools. By the way, they just go in the house.
They just walk in, yeah.
They're just like, well, let's look around for a little bit, I guess. They don't bring in like any tools. They're just like, whatever.
That's
And-
one of my favorite things in horror films. Is
Yeah.
when people enter a room and they just look around.
Yeah, they're like, whoa, look at this place.
Yeah, stairwell.
And the one guy gives like a little bit of like lore about the house. He's like, yeah, a couple of years ago there was like this guy who went around killing people, and the other guy's like, what, really?
No, but could you imagine?
Could you imagine though? So then we're back to Sienna, and she's unpacking, and she finds a pic of her father, which is Jason Patrick,
And his character's name is Michael.
and his name is Michael.
How perfect is that?
I know.
Yeah, I
I
was like,
suspect a little bit of a nod.
say hello to the night,
Yeah.
lost in the shadows.
When they're like, later on, when she was like, when the family's eating Chinese food, I just want to feel like they're mad at Sienna. How do they taste?
Join us.
Join us, Sienna.
And then we see where, meanwhile, her nosy little cousin Gabby starts reading Sienna's like diary, and Sienna's like, "Yo, hands off! Don't ever look at that. Don't read it."
Did you think it was appropriate when she slapped her across the face?
Yeah, I was like, and Lauren Lavera, I guess, talked in interviews like that wasn't scripted or wanted.
Yeah.
but she just kept doing it.
Yeah, and she wouldn't stop.
She just
There's actually like behind the scenes footage of them like peeling her off of that little
Right.
girl.
And I guess like the mall Santa scene, she was just hitting all those kids. And then, can we just get her offset for this?
Yeah, they actually had to like the footage when I guess the shoot went over about a month or so because
Yeah.
they had to keep replacing children because
right. Yeah,
they didn't want to work with her.
right.
You know?
And that's why they confine her to like just the one department store.
Yeah.
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 Bro, you be smearing Laura like that.
Yeah, man, we're not smearing anybody. You got to look this up.
We only tell the truth.
We
here
have
on
this
FREAKQUELS.
like most podcasts.
Like most
Telling the
podcasts. Yeah. We're taking a bite out of crime over
Yeah.
here. So the construction
Turning the heat up, Lauren.
feel the flames. So the construction duo are kind of like scoping out the house when the one guy, he comes across Vicky downstairs.
Wait, can I just add something really quick?
Yeah.
Just some dialogue from this movie. The one guy, what's his name? I don't care.
Construction
Guy number one.
Yeah.
Jingle bells, this place fucking smells.
Yeah.
This was for the laugh that would never come.
Yeah,
It's delivered in a way where it's like the audience is supposed to like chuckle, but like I remember that our screening and it was dead silent.
Yeah, that's how
They laughed in mine, just saying.
What's up?
They laughed in my
Did they?
screening. Yeah.
I think it's like, it's like one of those lines.
Was that the theater that had that infamous gas leak in it?
Yeah. Someone
This movie's hilarious. I'm gonna go to sleep for a while.
who put this nitrogen tank in here? So we see where one guy comes across Vicky, and then the other one kind of comes across Art upstairs in the attic, and while Art is kind of like wakes up and he like grabs that guy's face, we see Vicky take out that guy downstairs with like a broken piece of glass, and it's gross.
And then what happens?
Well, she
Keep
goes
going.
upstairs.
Keep going.
And while Art is killing the one guy, Vicky gets a little turned
Yes, she does.
and starts masturbating with that piece of glass.
Yep.
And she's like, and Art's like, you like that? Oh, you dirty girl.
Yeah.
Right? And he's like into it too. But he doesn't like, not really though. He's like, oh. He's kind of grossed out by Vicky.
Well, no, he went over and he started making it rain with dollar bills.
Oh, yeah. I did like that.
That was interesting.
I thought it was interesting, too.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? At this point, watching that scene, thought that went through my head was, my grandfather passed away when I was about 11 years old. I wish he lived long enough to see this movie. Because for him, he probably saw, like, Dracula in the theater, and he's like, oh, this movie went way too far. It had a spooky castle. And this is where cinema is now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it is funny. Like, imagine the person who created, like, the camera, and they're like, man, I can't believe...
Good things are only going to be filmed with this.
The only good things are going to be used.
There's a new word coined from this scene. Yeah, glasturbation.
That
really
is awesome.
Yeah, you
I
haven't
love
seen
that
online?
No.
I've seen it all over on like
Shut
Terrifier shit forums.
Oh.
Is that like a new kink?
Glasturbation?
I don't know about that. But
Glasturbation
Glasturbation.
category?
Hey, check
Yeah.
out my OnlyFans, Glasturbation.
Glasturbation 1.
I hope you guys enjoy the session.
If you'd like to see more, like and subscribe.
I might be only to be able to do this once.
Smash that like button. Yeah, I think I only got one in me. I'll make it count though.
Yeah. So we see where Sienna eats dinner with her aunt and uncle and cousin and stuff, and they're chatting, and that's when Sienna starts to hallucinate, and she sees her friend Brooke from Terrifier 2. And
Is that the same actress? Do you know?
It is.
It is.
yeah, I was gonna say
She
I
went
think
through
it
and put all
was,
that
but-
fucking makeup on again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and she was great in the last one. I thought she
I
was
think
like a
everybody,
standout.
the actors in these movies, with maybe actually even the first one,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the casting is generally pretty good.
Yeah.
yeah. I
Like,
would
there's
agree.
not a lot of people that you're just like,
This guy's in this.
yeah.
Yeah.
even like somebody who might not be great in these movies is still pretty good compared to what they probably should be, right? Or how somebody
Yeah.
else would handle this probably a better way.
No, I think everybody gives out like a solid performance. Like there isn't anybody in this movie that I'm like, oh
No.
god, like I have to sit through this.
Lauren
scene.
Yeah.
Rivera.
Lauren Rivera. Jesus.
Phoning it in.
But yeah, so we see where she sees her friend and she excuses herself from the table because the friend is like getting louder and like slapping
Screaming.
the table and
Yeah.
screaming her name. So
like, was she just actually there, and the family was just like, let's just not look at her?
yeah, they're like, just don't pay attention. Maybe she'll go away.
I didn't invite her. She showed up, and I was like, well, we're having dinner. Why don't you have some too? But maybe we shouldn't acknowledge her.
I definitely think that like this scene, it's like in my mind when I was watching it. I'm like, yeah, you could tell Damien Leone was probably like
American Werewolf in London.
hell yes,
Yeah, I thought so
100%.
too.
Yeah, I was like, that's definitely like because it's all like gross makeup and stuff.
Kind of
And,
played for comedic effect.
yeah, I thought so too. Like there's a little bit of comedy in it. I don't know. So, you could definitely see a little inspiration there.
Oh yeah.
But over at the local college, Sienna's brother Jonathan meets his roommate's kind of girlfriend or whatever she is. Who she's like a true crime podcaster.
So like she's dating Trey Parker from Basketball.
Right.
Right?
He basically looks like Trey Parker. Or even Eric Christian Olsen. I don't know if you know who that is, but
I'm sticking with Trey Parker and Basketball.
But she is like, oh my god, Jonathan Shaw. I know everything about your family and like the Art the Clown and stuff. And she turns out to be like a mega fan. And
one thing's very clear in this is that all podcasters are just terrible.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah, we're just the biggest
we're all the same.
scumbags.
We're all the same.
We're always flagging down people who are victims of trauma.
Yeah, that's our thing.
Yeah, we're like,
That's
our kink.
Is that why I'm here?
Yeah. We would actually like to talk to you about anything that may have happened.
We're like, hey Brent, do you have any like deep stories you want to share with us?
What are your thoughts on glass masturbation?
Yeah. So we see where Mia, who is this true crime podcaster, she's like begging Jonathan to consider doing the podcast. Sounds familiar. That's us, baby. So Sienna.
Wait. Question for you both.
Yeah.
Why does Jonathan sound like an older Michael Jackson?
What?
His voice. It sounds a little
Where
like
you
Michael
getting
Jackson
that
when he's
from?
talking.
Does it really?
Yeah, it kind of sounds like he's like, hey, it's good, guys.
He's still a kid.
Wait, can you do that stellar impression one more time?
He's supposed to be like in college, right?
Yeah.
He sounds like he's 5.
I think they really upped his age in this movie because he was like 15.
Yeah, but like have the voice
Terrifier
sync up.
2.
Yeah.
And then Terrifier 2 only and 3, is it a 1 year or 2 year
It's
difference? Well, I mean like in terms
in
of
real
filming.
life. Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Well, 2 took a long time to film because COVID interrupted it, and then
okay.
it was just a longer shoot. So I'd say 2 years, maybe.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
talking like I was there. I wasn't there, but from
Right.
what I read-
I would assume it like they upped his age like a little too much.
Yeah.
No, but it's just like he didn't.
He should have
sound
been like
that
a
in the
high
first
school
one.
senior.
Like the first one, like okay, I'm just gonna say this: the kid's not the best actor, but he's not terrible in part 2.
Right.
And this one, I'm just like, do you care? Like I don't know, like his voice is. Just go back and watch it.
Yeah.
No,
I'll have to watch it now.
We'll have to have a
Yeah.
separate discussion on this because I am a Jonathan defender.
Are you?
Just
Yeah.
saying, yeah.
Okay.
I know and you're right. He's not the best. What's his name? Elliot Fulham. He's not the best, but this was the first roles that he actually had.
Sure.
2 and 3. So, and I think he's 20 in real life now. Believe
Is
it or
he?
not. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you could use some improvement there, but like you were saying earlier, I think he does a decent job for what he's given. Which that's one of the things I don't like about this one is that he's pretty much in like 2 scenes and then disappears.
Yeah.
We can talk
Relegated
about
to
that.
the back.
Yeah, we can talk about
Yeah.
that later, but.
Yeah, they went all in on cousin Gabby.
Which cousin the way you talk about that's like fucking cousin Eddie from Christmas Vacation.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, shitter's full.
Yeah.
And then Sienna's like, oh god damn it. No, but they went all in on the cousin Gabby, and instead of like the brother.
Yeah, that is
And I
a
think
weird.
that was
thing.
like
it is weird, and I not
Yeah.
that I don't like Gabby, but
Right.
she just came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
Why
exactly.
do we even need her?
Hey,
Exactly.
that's actually kind of a funny thing because Sienna's role with her is like a protector, right?
Yeah.
So it's almost like a big sister.
Right.
but she has a little brother.
Correct.
So you could have further strengthened that relationship started in the second movie rather than relegating it to the back and doing nothing with it.
Right.
I think
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I never understood that, and I didn't have a chance to ask Damien or Elliot because I talked to him at Monster Mania too.
Yeah.
And we didn't think to talk about that specifically, but I don't know what the deal was there. And it's not like he wasn't like, it's not like he doesn't want to be a part of it. Like he's been out promoting the shit out of it with Damien and Lauren. So it's not like he's like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah. He's at all like the different conventions and stuff.
And he looks like a great dude.
Yeah. Like he's always super nice with his fans.
My criticism of him, it's probably has more to do with the fact that what we're just talking about. It's like he wasn't given a lot.
Right.
So it's just very like basic minimum stuff that they throw him. And there's not a lot that you can do with it because they gave, like, Cousin Gabby.
Yeah. She's coming in and stealing thunder.
Yeah. Like, he's just kind of like, yeah, I was part of the massacre. Bye.
Well, and it's...
Hey, blanket.
It's even funnier, though, with what you said about that because, the only reason they did that 5-year time jump in the story was because he had grown up so much.
Oh, okay.
And they were like, it wouldn't make sense to be like the same year or the year later because he looked like he was supposed to be 12 in the second one.
Yeah.
And he looked like he was like fucking 12.
Yeah.
And now he looks older.
Yeah, I feel like he looked like he should have been in high school.
Yeah.
In this one.
Yeah.
Like instead of college.
Yeah.
I feel like he looks like he could have been like a 10th grader. Like in this movie, and like
because his roommate looks like guy in college.
Yeah,
exactly.
And that also might be like adding to the awkwardness of his character because it doesn't seem right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But all that matters
maybe
is,
he's a prodigy, and it is like wait, whoa,
we're he's got.
We're cooking. We're cooking. Hold on.
Because of all the trauma he went through, they're like, we're pushing you up a few grades.
Man, that kid went through that shit.
Least we could do.
I think that would just be an automatic A. You're graduated.
Yeah.
The guidance counselor's like, just push him through college.
Yeah. Like Jonathan.
I don't want to deal with that shit.
Jonathan hasn't been doing good this quarter. It's like, did you see what he went through? They're like, you're right.
Yeah.
The guidance
Dean's
counselor's like, he went through that. I'm not going to be able to guide this kid and push him to college. Get him out of my sight.
Can't we just rush him through school?
I can't deal. I don't know what to talk to him about.
Just push him through med school. I'm not prepared. I want to learn.
I didn't learn anything from 9th to 12th grade.
I think
that pushed me from 8th to a freshman in college.
I think that kind of like gets to the core, I guess, of what we're all trying to say is that maybe more time should have been put on Jonathan and Sienna rather than
Cousin Gabby.
Right.
Cousin Gabby.
Yeah.
Which again, that little girl is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing against her.
No.
But it did seem like you have an established relationship, and they survived shit together.
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
Jonathan and Sienna like went through shit together, and like that could have really helped strengthen those two characters together, right?
Right.
And trauma bonding. My sister and I know all about it.
Right.
But like, just to kind of be like, yeah, he's in college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of like not like write him off because he's still
Kinda.
in it, but it feels like he's kind of pushed.
He's relegated to the background.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's yeah, I'm sure like he was real excited for Terrifier 3, and then they sent him all 3 pages of his script.
And he's like, "Oh, I die in this?
Oh, this is like real secret
and off screen.
This is like a secret project.
Again,
Like I'm only in 3 pages.
Yeah.
That's another thing we could talk about later because I
Yeah.
have some fucking
know.
thoughts on
Me
that.
too. Yeah,
and
me
also
too.
some secret news about that. Not news,
Uh-oh.
Ooh, okay. All right.
Ruh-roh, Raggy.
but yeah.
Ruh-roh.
We'll leave you in suspense for a minute.
Like, what are we gonna do?
If I could feel feelings still, I'd be really excited.
So Sienna calls her brother to check in, and he's like, "Hey, are you okay?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm doing fine." And we see like she's like hooked on aspirin, like she's like taking hardcore aspirin.
Yeah,
no,
man.
she's taking like some meds and stuff.
Aspirin, you're right.
Yeah, super aspirin. Yeah, it's vitamin Flintstone vitamins.
Yeah.
But at back at Art's house, he makes a little freeze ray kind of gun thing,
He's right.
and he tries it out on a rat. and I'm like, what's Art's problem?
Now, if I could cut a scene, if I could cut one scene, it would be this.
too.
Rat torture.
Yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
not a big fan.
Yeah.
Now, here's the funny thing. All the murders that happen to people in these movies, I'm fine with.
Yeah.
I don't like to see the mouse get hurt.
Nope.
Yeah.
Bullshit on you, Damien Leone.
And I was like, why did he do that? He could have just like froze like whatever, like Vicky's arm.
I was about to say Vicky.
Yeah, and then been like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
And then she could have been like, oh, look at that. Or like a finger or something. You know? And like she doesn't need all of them.
Or hold it up, smile, cut.
Cut, yeah.
I'm pretty sure the audience could put this one together.
Or even just have the construction worker and just like, and then just like shatter his head.
Yeah,
And
like there's
okay,
like the
get
body's
it.
still somewhere.
Right.
They're all
He's like-
propped up. We're having dinner together.
Yeah. Oh, perfect.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then like Art freezes the one and just like punches his fist through his head. I would have cheered. But like, yeah, the mouse, and then he feeds the mouse to the other mouses, and I'm not fine with
Yeah.
that.
And I wasn't cool with that either.
Yeah, even during the movie, I'm like, you had me, movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More death for people. Crueler. Longer.
Yeah.
Go hard, Damien Leone. But leave
Not
them-
animals.
Yeah, the animals, it just makes me feel bad. Anyway,
Yeah.
I did notice that Sienna and Jonathan say things like, I love you to each other. My relationship with my sister, we call each other failures and wish death on each other. And I wish I could say that was a joke.
Yeah. Yeah. That,
We
no,
really
that
do
makes
that.
sense.
So the brother-sister relationship in this is unrealistic.
So we see where Sienna is with cousin Gabby, and she puts makeup on Gabby, and she looks like a clown. Like she's like, I don't know. I was like, I don't know if this kid is into this makeup, right? But she looked like a clown when she did like the makeup, and I don't know if that was like intentional or something.
Like a subconscious thing.
Yeah.
I thought
I
that
have
scene
no
was a
idea.
little weird anyway.
Yeah, it wasn't really needed.
Yeah.
Again, that's probably like something you could have.
Cut.
Or hear me out. She does that with Jonathan.
It's like, oh wow, thank you, thanks, blanket. Why do you keep making those noises, Jonathan? It's my trauma.
So I get it out. I get it out
Ever
through
since
dancing.
art, yeah. Ever since art, I just make noises. So at a random bar, which is my favorite scene,
Because it starts off with Clint Howard.
we have Clint
The
Howard.
legendary Clint Howard.
Yes,
Yeah.
legend.
I mean, like, really, you could use that word for him. I mean,
Absolutely.
This motherfucker shows up even back in, like, the 60s Star Trek.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's how long he's been going.
He's and of course like the Howard family is just like a legendary Hollywood family.
Bit of a dynasty.
Yeah. And
Bryce, you got Ron.
who Ron?
Yeah,
I don't
I
think
don't know
he's
about him.
yeah. But we also meet Daniel Roebuck, who is playing like a version of Santa Claus.
Who you had a very lovely exchange with.
He is one of the nicest guys I think I've ever met. I met him at the last Monster Mania, and he was cool. He invited us to see his movie. I didn't get to go, but he also gave me. We were talking about film, and he was like, "Oh, you're a big fan of film." I could tell because we were talking about just like generations of movies.
Yeah.
But It's a Wonderful Life. We were both talking about that. And he's like, "Hey, I want you to check this out. I directed this." So he gave me like one of his movies.
It's a movie about glasturbation.
It was about.
You look like the type.
I'm glad I introduced you to that term.
Yeah,
I know,
I know.
it's going to be
I'm
brought
gonna
up
be
a lot.
using it all the time.
Like the next episode, we're going to just say it.
Shout out to Brent Wilson for this
I was
one.
gonna say,
Yeah.
do I get royalties?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're going to send you
Of
a
course.
quarter every time.
So
Not
Santa
legally
Claus
binding.
is he has like two chicks on him, and Clint Howard's there and the bartender.
I like when Clint Howard's just like, they're like, "Oh, we love you, Sandy," like, and he's just like, "My wife's dead."
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
my wife's dead.
He's trying to get them to come over to him.
yeah. He just like interjects like here and there. And it's really funny. And then that's when Art is like walking by. He like peeks into the bar and he sees Santa and he freaks out. And even like when we saw it, everyone was like laughing at that scene. That scene plays out really, really well. And it's not needed in the film. Like he could have just
No.
picked up like a Santa costume and been like, oh,
Yeah.
and put it on. But I'm glad the scene is in there because Daniel Roebuck is like freaking awesome. He's so good.
Like sometimes, like, I mean, you could definitely describe this scene as being tangential.
Yeah.
It doesn't really like add to the story any, but if it's entertaining, whatever. It's fun.
It's fun, yeah.
I also, for whatever reason, I like that Santa talks to Art like he's a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
Clowny.
Yeah, he calls him Clowny.
Yeah.
Hey, Clowny.
He sees this like 6 foot forever guy.
Yeah.
And he's talking to him like he's 5.
Yeah.
For no reason.
And he's just incredibly nice to Art, and he's like, oh yeah, sure, buddy, like, you like that? Okay. And very accommodating to Art. And but yeah, we cut over now to Sienna, and she has a nice chat with her aunt, and they're both like kind of reminiscing about Sienna's mother, because it turns out like the aunt is like the younger sister of the mother. It's a really nice scene. Again, probably could have been cut, but I think they were just trying to
Need
give
a little character development here.
Yeah,
just
like,
a little bit.
Yeah, to like add something for the aunt to have like some kind of like sympathy or care about her a little bit,
Give her a little something something.
Yeah, like for the actor to chew on a little bit. So it's good. So back at the bar, Art starts to literally piss on Santa.
Hey, one little thing that I really appreciate about the scene.
Yeah.
All those actors do a really good job making it feel like they all know each other.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's like a nice, like, something going on.
Rapport.
A rapport.
Yeah.
I appreciated that, but just don't know.
Yeah. And we see, Art then kills the bartender, then Clint Howard, by shooting them and stuff. And then we see where Art ties up Santa and kills him with his freeze gun.
He calls it the sub-zeroing.
Yeah.
Finish him.
Finish him. And Art steals his costume. He like takes the costume, but he like freezes Santa's face, and he even pulls like a carrot and sticks it in his face. And
But that actor, he did such a good job making him likable.
Yeah.
That death feels different than the rest of them.
it really does. Yeah.
Because I felt like, oh.
He wasn't like a jerk. Like he only got mad when he like got pissed on, but even still, he was like
He went a lot
trying to be
further
nice.
than anybody else would have.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that
Yeah.
bartender had the appropriate response, which is
Get
this
out.
guy needs to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had good instincts.
Yeah.
This guy's like, no, it's the Santa Claus code. Everybody gets the same treatment. And I'm like, what the fuck kind of
What the fuck is
loyalist are
that?
you?
Yeah. Like,
What kind of
fuck are you
Santa school
talking
did
about?
you go to? Don't let me see you pushing anybody away, Santa. We'll revoke your Santa license.
And that scene with Daniel Roebuck was actually longer. It was cut down. Like they do the nose thing from the carrot nose, and then that's it. They were supposed to do the coals in the eyes and shit, and Leone cut that because it was going on too long.
Yeah. I think he made the right call.
yeah,
I feel
he's
like
learning as a filmmaker.
Yeah. I feel like it's effective. Like you don't really have to keep going with certain things, but
It's almost like you set up your little Sub-Zero gun and then you paid it off.
Yeah, you had the
Called it a
payoff.
day.
Yeah, like the carrot in the face is like, that's a good ending.
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
it. I feel like but yeah, no, I like that actor a lot. He's awesome.
He didn't say a lot of good things about you, but we don't have to stay on that.
I know. So the next day, Sienna takes Gabby to the mall, and they're looking for a gift for Jonathan, which is Sienna's brother. In case you guys forgot, he is in this movie.
Oh, I thought Jonathan was replaced by a young lady.
Cousin Abby.
Cousin
Gabby, yeah.
Cousin Abby.
I have her name written here, and I still call her Cousin Abby.
No, Cousin Abby is in the movie, and they gave more of the stuff that should have went to Jonathan down to Cousin Gabby and Abby.
Right, and Abby's not even like living in the same household.
No.
So Sienna hears Clown Cafe play on the radio within like the department store, like in the mall. She's in the mall, but they're in the department store called, what was it, like Hunts or something? I forget what it was called. But And
It was called Department Store.
yeah. And as she's listening and the music's distorted, she's looking around. No one else is like really noticing. And then she sees like a weird Santa like walking by, and he has like that plastic mask from the bar that we saw, and like a little bit of blood on the costume and stuff. And she could tell right away it's art.
Well, obviously.
Right. I mean, like,
He's just drenched with blood.
yeah.
Not common with the Santa Claus getup.
Yeah.
Unless it's, of course, of the Silent Night, Deadly Night variety.
Right. Which is awesome.
Yeah.
So
I think that's Clown Cafe should have been like a cover. It should have been like the Lady Gaga version of it. You know? Why is it on the radio?
yeah.
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 What is that song? I
I
thought that was just something she heard in a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
Now it's playing in department stores.
Yeah.
Someone explain to me. Damian Leone, write to me. Freakquelpodcast@gmail.com. We need answers.
And we owe Brent 50 cents for glasturbation.
More than that.
Damn it,
You're up to
75 cents.
$2.
Yeah.
$2. That's out of our budget. Show's gonna shut down now because of Brent. We owe him too much money.
Brent, why did you do this to us? We're broke, kid. We're broke. So Sienna...
We're ruined.
We're ruined. So Sienna then meets up with Jonathan finally, and things are kind of like weird, like definitely weird between the two. And
It's set up nicely too, because like earlier when they're in the department store, Gabby's like, "Oh yeah, Jonathan doesn't wear black anymore."
yeah,
Yeah.
And it's kind of showing that there's like a little bit of like a disconnect between
she's
them
like,
now.
"What, the heavy metal?" And she's like, "No, he doesn't wear black anymore." And she's like, "What?"
Yeah.
You know,
Says
and,
Mr. Death Metal, and
Yeah.
then Gabby says he's not into that either.
yeah,
Something like that.
And I'm like, why does Gabby know all this shit? Like, why cousin Gabby?
That's a good question. How close are Jonathan and cousin Gabby?
Because cousin Gabby would have been like a couple, maybe like 6, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
she's like
Yeah.
11. So she's like, oh, this, yeah, I don't know. I was like,
think
why
the-
would she know this?
I think the intention is that it's supposed to show that there's like a bit of a distance growing between them. But
Yeah.
I gathered that because they didn't put them in a fucking movie together.
yeah.
You know? I didn't need that Gabby,
Yeah, cousin Gabby. Fuck off.
Jonathan splaining to Sienna.
John splaining. So when they're interrupted by that Mia, the true crime podcaster, and it really strikes a nerve with Sienna, which is
Rightfully
she's-
so.
Yeah, and she's like, "You guys are all the same, aren't you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we are.
We are, Sienna.
We are. Us podcasters. Yeah,
We
are.
prequels are trash.
Yeah." I was like, "I'll take it." But we also
She
see,
really should give that speech to the internet. Like everything that she says.
yeah,
Yeah. I
don't
feel
know.
like she's her anger is justified.
yeah.
Because people are a little bit too desensitized to other people suffering these days. You know what I mean? Like, we all talk about it. We all laugh about it. We all...
What does she say? Like, how are you
how you doing?
How are you coping?
coping
Yeah.
since the tragedy? Coping?
That must have sucked.
Coping? How am I coping? And then she just, like, gets stuck on coping.
Yeah, she can't
Yeah.
quite get out of that circle for a while.
Yeah.
And then Mia just awkwardly backs away.
Like,
Coping?
coping?
Me?
Coping?
Coping? Who isn't coping? Aren't we all coping?
The weird thing about that scene is Jonathan takes offense to the way his sister is reacting, right? Like, it's not like he doesn't like defend his sister. He's like, "Why'd you do that? Why were you making a scene like that?" And I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know, Jonathan. Like, you and your sister were almost murdered, and like it's still obviously affecting her, you know. And like maybe you are okay, like getting by. But I was like, that's kind of weird that he took the girl he just met like an hour ago, her side over the sister, right?
It's the
Yeah.
whole thing that he has some sort of like animosity towards Sienna because she like reminds him of that whole experience. Because if anything, I'd be like, Sienna, you're the best sister ever. Because I'm only alive
Because of you.
because
yeah,
you're awesome.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
died and came back from the dead and fucked this guy up with a sword.
Yeah.
I've never
Yeah.
met a sister that's cooler than that.
Yeah.
But he's just kind of like, oh yeah, that intrusive bitch over there. Like I'm going on with her. She's fine. I don't get that.
Yeah.
I don't
No, it's
understand
odd.
their relationship.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, in this one, because the last one they're really close, and then this one,
Yeah, they got
they're
like a
distant.
brother-sister relationship.
And it
Yeah.
seemed real
Yeah.
in the second one. That's another
Yeah.
reason why 2 is my favorite.
Yeah,
Of many
yeah.
things, but that's one thing. They had a real relationship. They actually seemed like siblings.
Yeah, it was definitely more believable, and
Yeah.
she had like a protectiveness over him in that one.
Well, thank God that all went to Gabby.
Yeah, cousin Gabby, it's yours now, baby.
Yeah.
So
That's like such a weird thing to think about where like if they really did just like restructure the script a little bit and just had that relationship be like Sienna and Jonathan trying to like scrape together like some type of normalcy,
Right.
I think it probably would have been a slightly better movie.
yeah,
But maybe his
yeah.
whole, maybe like Damien Leone's logic was like, I need to make there be new characters, new victims. If I introduce like a young niece or whatever she is, cousin, now we got like a mother and a father. I'll
Right.
put Jonathan in college, and now we've got college kids.
Yeah.
College kids.
College kids.
You ever see Tucker and Dale vs. Evil?
Yeah, I
That's
love
such
that.
a good movie.
you kids gotta stop hurting yourselves.
I love when he goes up to them at the gas station and he's got like
Yeah.
the pitchfork or the scythe or whatever.
The scythe, yeah.
He's like, "You kids going to the cabin?"
You gotta go
They're all
back.
like real
Yeah.
creepy.
Yeah.
Because he's just nervous.
Yeah.
We've got your friend. He's got our friend.
We got your friend. They're like, oh no, they're eating her face. That movie is like amazing.
Next on Freakquels.
Yeah, we have to do it at one point. But yeah, so Sienna then tells Jonathan that she's pretty sure she saw Art, right? Like, I was at the mall and I'm like 90% sure
He was
I saw
opening
him.
up a credit card at Old Navy.
Yeah.
It's real weird.
And then he was at Zales buying a diamond. Who is that for?
What's going on with Art? Art's doing better than we are.
He clearly moved on.
You know what's weird? He got approved. What kind of credit does he have?
Maybe I should talk to Art.
Yeah, about getting our lives together.
So Jonathan doesn't like really believe her, and
He has no reason to believe that a demonic clown would ever exist.
right, no way you chopped her
Something that
head off.
defies logic.
And then she's like, but what about all this stuff you wrote, all those like theories and
Letters and shit.
and letters and stuff? He's like, I don't know.
I threw those away with my death metal clothes.
Yeah.
That's not me anymore.
I burned my Ghost album. I couldn't take Papa Ghost anymore.
Careful, EJ.
Oh, okay. Papa Smurf. I actually thought about this.
ahead.
If Ghost had all the names of like the Smurfs, so there's like Vanity Ghost, like Papa Ghost. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't know what the fuck you're saying to me.
I don't know.
right now.
There's like Ghost,
There's the Papa Roach ghost.
Papa Roach Ghost, Papa Smurf
Yeah.
Ghost.
We'll go on with your Smurf theory.
Oh yeah, no. I thought it would be funny if there's like Vanity Ghost.
Okay.
And then there's like Brainy Ghost, and they all have like Clumsy Ghost.
Can I ask you a question? Because I'm with you. I'm with you. I just want to ask you a question. So the band Ghost,
Yeah.
how did you get to the Smurfs?
Oh, because their leader is Papa
Smurf.
Smurf,
Okay.
and their leader, the lead singer in Ghost, is Papa Ghost.
Is his name Papa Ghost?
I think it is.
I don't think it is.
I think it is, isn't it?
I don't know.
All right. You know who
Becca,
knows
right
about
into
this?
the show.
Elle would know
Elle
this.
and Becca, they're big Ghost fans.
Yeah. So,
But I'll ask them later tonight if his name is Papa Smurf Ghost.
so like minus the Smurf, yes.
This is the kind of shit that you only get on Freakquels.
Yeah. So back at the mall, Art sits in as the mall Santa, and he's handing out gifts to all the kids in line and stuff. And mall security grabs Art and they start to kick him out. And we see where one kid is like really going to town on this like box, like trying to open it. And one of the presents, and it turns out it's a bomb, and it just blows up and kills all these kids, and different like the mall Santa who came out.
It's weird because that was actually on that kid's Christmas list.
Mom, it's a bomb.
I told you if you were good. Hey, real quick thing, just want to throw this out there. This is one of those moments that makes me question what was going on with the script.
Yeah.
Sienna, when talking to Jonathan, she says, "I have to go back to the Terrifier." It's kind of like a trailer line, right? Like it's like one of those moments you're like, "Oh, shit's gonna get crazy."
Yeah.
And then she goes back to the Terrifier off screen.
Yeah,
Off screen.
That's another problem. Big problem.
Yeah.
Well, I'm like, I don't get to see anything, or
Yeah.
Yeah. She goes back and she's just like, and like we don't see any of it because you would have to think like what a powerful moment that would be
Yeah, I would say.
to like
walking
have.
back into your trauma.
Yeah, like you lost your friends here. You almost lost your life.
It's almost like
Yes.
they could have had like a Scream 3 moment when like
Right.
when,
Oh,
Sydney's
yeah.
back in
The set.
yeah, like 'cause
Yeah.
that's a great moment in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just her having those
So
like
good.
flashbacks of like
What happened?
yeah, like when she like resurrects and stuff and like inform the audience a little.
Right. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
like, hey, remember this? And we'd be like, yeah, we remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
But I think it would have been nice to see her kind of have to face all this stuff before actually like you know what I mean like relive it before she actually has to face down her tormentor.
dude, 100%.
Yeah.
And I feel like Scream 3 is like a perfect example
Yeah.
of that. Like
Yeah.
Neve Campbell like seeing her old room.
Just settle for a PG-13 relationship.
Yeah, and she's like starting all that. Like you hear that dialogue
Yeah.
coming
Yeah.
back, and I feel like that was a missed opportunity because it's like a little bit of character growth, and what a great scene that would have been for Lauren Lavera to act through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that really is like I don't know, a missed opportunity.
It is, and the word
Yeah.
and Leone said he cut it for time, which I'm like, bitch. There's so many other things you could have cut for time.
There's so many other
There's a whole
things.
conversation about cereal.
That, and also, did we need the construction workers? You know what I mean? Well,
No.
Well, that was just another
yeah.
set piece. You know, we needed the glasturbation. That's what we
Yeah,
needed.
I guess so.
Yeah.
But like, we didn't need that. We didn't need Art taking a train twice, because he takes a
3
train.
times.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well,
By the
yeah.
time the movie's over,
Yeah.
It's like 3 times.
where's he getting that fare?
Yeah, like what's going on? Where's he keeping that money? But yeah, like there's stuff you definitely could have cut to add something that would have been very impactful, especially for the character and character growth for Sienna.
Yeah.
But
If you had to sum it up in one way, if I had to, I'd say
Yeah.
the third one, definitely the best in terms of like filmmaking, like
Yeah.
technically.
Yeah.
From a script perspective, a step back from the second one.
Yeah,
In my
no, that's
opinion.
fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember when we saw it, like, to me, I was like, I like this one the most in terms of, like, the technical stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, like, rewatching it, there's this moment where I'm like, all right, I guess this is a good time to get into it.
yeah,
Here's the problem with Sienna in this movie. Like, she needed to have, like her character needed something to do in the story.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
there's so much of it of her just, like, staying in that house and sitting around and talking to the family, putting makeup on Gabby. And she needs to have, like, a journey in this movie, and she doesn't. Like, she doesn't really
Right.
have anything happen in the film until, like, the end.
Yeah.
yeah.
And, like, you could literally have spent that time, like, again, maybe, just an idea, get rid of the whole Gabby thing, have her bond more with Jonathan, go to, like, the Terrifier. How fucking cool would it have been if there was, like, a moment where they even, like, she even faced Art in there for a second?
Right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, because if you get rid of all the superfluous stuff, Chinese dinners,
yeah.
like,
Like even like I said, like it's a great scene, and I like the actors in it.
yeah,
But that whole bar scene you could have cut
in favor of
in favor of
yeah.
like the character of Sienna.
your
you know?
character needs to have a journey,
Yeah.
and like it's just sort of like she's just sort of there popping pills, sleeping, laying in bed, trying to get
Dude,
in
it's
touch
Christmas
with Jonathan.
vacation.
It's chilling, yeah.
Yeah.
It's Christmas week.
Yeah.
But like, it's a thing where to me I just wanted them to do. They have this great actress,
Yeah.
and she's doing a really great job making you like understand and feel for the character. And then we don't do anything with her.
Yeah.
And then we have Jonathan, and he's literally just walking around moping.
Another one chilling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that takes us to this scene. So Jonathan is about to send a text to the aunt and be like, yeah, Sienna, she's getting worse, right? And then he like, because he's laying in bed, and he's like, ugh, and then he just trashes his fucking room,
Now, that scene works, in
Yeah.
my opinion, because it's like, and you know, having a panic attack or some kind of anxiety attack,
Right.
I would assume.
Yeah.
And that's what, and people are crazy when that happens. you know?
Yeah.
It depends. So that actually, like, emotionally, that works.
and I feel like that is a scene that it could have played better if he had more screen time.
Correct.
Oh man, I thought you were inching towards like a Room reference.
Oh yeah. Everybody betray me. I'm fed up with this world.
You see like the TV go out the window and
See, it's getting worse. In a few minutes, bitch.
dude, you had like this look on your face. It was like, because I know you very well. You had like this
Yeah.
little wry smile going on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's going right into a Room reference, and you didn't do it.
I know.
Like, you shocked me.
I reserved myself, which is I love The Room. It's like
Yeah,
one of my
or-
favorite movies.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I feel like if he had more screen time, and more stuff going on, this scene would have been like even more effective.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I think it's effective now as is, but you're
Right.
right. More context, more screen time, it
Yeah.
would have been even better.
Maybe a moment where like Jonathan thinks he sees art and he doesn't know for certain if it was art. Maybe feels like he's kind of like losing his mind a little bit, or
Hallucinating.
Just,
Right.
just something.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
something with the poor kid. That's what I'm saying. Like what we were talking about initially. Kind of retract my statement of maybe him not giving the best performance. It's like there's just not a lot for him to do.
Yeah.
And then
really
he's
isn't.
like, oh, now trash the room. It's like, oh, okay. Like,
yeah, he's like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Gives me
Tommy
something
Wi-
to do.
Yeah, make Tommy Wise so proud.
I was sitting off to the side for 18 hours, so yeah, give me something to do.
He's like a really talented football player that wasn't allowed to participate into the game until like oh my, I'm done with that
Dude.
sports analogy.
Oh,
Out.
that was sick.
I was like, I need to stop hanging out in this sports bar.
Dude, you know what would have been awesome if he was just like, give me something to break, and then it went into Limp Bizkit.
Holy shit, dude, that would have been so cool.
Just one of them days,
Dude,
Yeah.
dude, that theater would have been up on their fucking feet.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Jonathan would become like something of
legend.
legend. Exactly.
Yeah.
That would have been like memed for the rest of time.
For the rest of time.
But they went ahead and did nothing.
Yeah.
But go ahead. I'm sorry.
so
Sorry for you.
Cena gets back to her aunt's house, and she
Is
has
this when they have the very, very dynamic, very intense conversation about how cereal's awesome?
almost. She comes home with the gift, right? Like this wrapped box.
Yeah, she stopped to get her sword wrapped.
And she
I wanted that scene.
yeah, hides it behind the tree.
Yeah.
And Gabby's like, "Oh, what's up? Like, what? Who's that for?" And she's like, "Oh, it's just something I picked up." She's like, "What's wrong with your hands?" And they're all like dirty. So she obviously like dug up this sword. And yeah, like imagine if she just showed up to the department store, her hands are all dirty, and she's like,
I'm gonna need this wrapped.
Can you wrap this for me?
Or like she finds the sword in the Terrifier. She's just kind of like sitting in there and just like, wrapping it and puts a little bow on it.
Yeah.
And it's sort of one of those things where you're like, why did you have to wrap it?
Right.
What was the point? Couldn't you hide it somewhere?
Yeah.
Try outside.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Do you have like a book bag or something?
That house looks like it's got a flower bed somewhere that's not being used during the winter months.
Didn't she have like a suitcase? Like
Something?
Yeah, I don't know.
Put it under the bed. Or just say, hey, I'm like this kind of artsy thing. Yeah, like I this is something I had from when I lived with my parents.
Yeah.
I don't think that family's going to ask too many questions.
I don't
But she
think
went
so.
with the classic, I'm just going to have this sword wrapped.
You know
at
what?
the
I think
department
I'm gonna
store.
do that from now on.
Yeah.
Anytime I just buy something weird, I'm like, could you wrap this for me?
There's
You know?
I think there's like a wrapping sword discount they give you at Boscov's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's show up with an armory.
If you can find a Boscov's that's still open, should give it a shot.
So Art arrives to the college with his bag of gifts, and I like that Christmas song that's playing. He shows up in the Demolition Brothers like van that he's driving around, and
Oh, that song, it's like, it's just one of those days. That one?
yeah, it's a Christmas song. I don't know
Oh,
what
no.
it is. Yeah, but it's a good scene. I was like, okay, this. I know it's like it's just him arriving to the college, outside the party and
Once
stuff.
again, completely superfluous to what's going on, but lots of fun.
It's fun. Yeah. I really liked it. So then we go back where Sienna is talking about cereal and how cousin Gabby's like, oh, she doesn't like cereal anymore.
And the dad's just like, why? Cereal's the best.
Yeah.
And in my notes, I put a writing credit from EJ Leeson.
It's true. I
He loves cereal.
Yeah, I could live off cereal.
Yeah.
I'm a picky eater, and cereal was one thing that I could just rack.
There's an episode we recorded once. I thought he was going to come over the table after me and made a crack about Captain Crunch cutting the roof of your mouth a little bit when you eat it.
Yeah.
And like humanity left his face.
I was
terrifying.
so mad. I was like, that's not true. That's
Yeah.
a rumor.
There was a whole 20-minute long debate that we had that I had to cut.
It's cap in.
For legal
it's
reasons.
cap in.
I know.
I'm glad
I know,
I know
man,
what
I'm
your
sorry.
I'm glad I know what your trigger is now. I never mentioned that.
Yeah. Yeah. Do not mention anything about
Yeah,
cereal.
just
Or
don't.
negative
Nothing negative. Right?
about cereal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you got any negative things to say about peanut butter, Cap, and Crunch,
You son of a
I
bitch.
know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't want to do it again. Legally speaking, I had to destroy the footage.
Yeah.
There actually was another host.
He's dead.
Yeah.
Damn.
So that's why he's our serial killer.
No.
Oh,
God.
I'm so sorry.
I think I'm going to get going. No, so Sienna hears this, right? And she's like, hey, Gabby, do you want to go play board games in my room? And Gabby's like, yeah, that sounds pretty cool. Let's go. So they go up to the room and Lauren Lavera, this scene's weird. So she shuts the door behind her really slow. Like she's about to murder Gabby, right? She shuts the door and she's like,
You want to see what's in that box?
I never told you I don't like cereal, right? And then Gabby's like, what's going on here? Why are you shutting the door like that? Why are you looking at me this way? And what's in the box? What's in the box? So she ends up you read my diary, and little Gabby is like, oh yeah.
I need to put this gag on.
Yes.
Wait, why do I gotta wear this?
Why? What is this for?
Y'all are evil people.
No, yeah. So, what's in the box? So she ends up, she's like, you read my diary. How much of it did you read? And she's like, all of it.
The whole thing.
The whole thing. And
It's
I'm
like a Necronomicon size book. She read the whole
she
thing.
just, there's nothing better going on. There's no cartoons. This kid's like, I just gotta read this whole damn diary. But she's like, I wanted to read it so she could understand what Sienna went through, right?
Oh, she
Or,
wanted the gossip.
but
Because
she,
she's
I
Gabby.
think it was she's cousin Gabby.
No, she's a gabber. That's where her name comes
Yeah.
from in the script. That's why
Yeah,
her name is
cousin,
Gabby.
I believe
cousin
it.
Gabby.
Yeah, so she wants to...
She's really Abby, but like I said before,
Yeah.
but she's cousin Gabby.
We call her Gabby because she don't know when to quit.
Yeah, she doesn't know.
You think all those secrets in that book are safe with that girl? Oh,
Nope.
you better. Hobart gets rid of her.
She just tweeted out everything. She just did a whole Reddit on that shit.
She published your diary.
Yeah.
It's available in multiple languages.
So, Art at the college, he kind of overhears a conversation going on.
And David Howard Thornton. It's
Again.
one of my favorite parts of the
Yeah.
movie when he's
Yeah.
listening. He's like, "Oh, do you want to hook up with that guy?" And he's just like,
Yeah.
And she's like, "No." He's like, "Oh."
Yeah.
I love how he does.
He does the dismissive wave. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's like, I just want to know what it's like to look a murderer in the eyes and what he smells like and all this stuff. And Cole, the roommate, is like, we're still cool, right? we're still all right?
This isn't the beginning of a bigger conversation, is it?
Right. And so then back to Sienna and her family, they're hanging out, and we see Tom Savini on the news talking about what happened at the mall. Great cameo.
Yeah.
Love that. Yeah.
Yeah. Always awesome to see a cameo by a legend.
Yeah, to see Tom Savini in a mall is also quite exciting.
Yeah, right? I thought the same thing.
Yeah. I was like, man, that's crossing your
Double
T.
whammy.
Yeah.
And
Dotting
your lowercase J's. And so Sienna freaks out, and she's like, and insists that they call Jonathan like ASAP, right? She's like, we gotta get Jonathan. It's Art the Clown, blah blah blah. So the uncle calls and gives Jonathan like the heads up that he's coming, and they're like he's gonna come pick him up, and she's like freaking out because she's like, yeah, Art did it, and basically the bomb ended up killing like a bunch of those kids and like everyone basically at the Mall Santa area, or like the photograph area. Everyone pretty much died. Back to Cole and Mia, they're hooking up in the shower, and
now Cole went from being Trey Parker in basketball to Trey Parker in Orgasmo.
Oh, any sign at all. That's my favorite line.
Did you ever see Orgasmo?
No.
So you know the guys from
so
South
good.
Park, Matt Stone and Trey Parker?
Yeah.
They have a bunch of movies they made, and they're all worth watching.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
Cannibal the Musical. Did you ever see that? Change your life.
Yeah.
yeah.
Orgasmo.
Orgasmo's
Basketball.
great.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Too much fun.
Yeah.
Legally speaking.
So in Orgasmo, one of my favorite scenes is he's a Mormon and he goes door to door.
Yeah.
And he comes across like a porn set, and he gets into a fight, and the porn director's like, I want to use you as the actor in the movie. He's like, well, I can't have sex with the actress. He's like, oh, we'll just have someone else do that, right? And so he goes home to pray on it, right? And so he's like down and he's praying. He's like, God, if I should do this, give me a sign, right? And an earthquake, like a miniature.
No, if I shouldn't do this, give me a sign.
Yeah, if I shouldn't do this, give me a sign. And it's like a miniature earthquake happens, and you just see like a statue, a religious statue, like fall off a shelf. And he goes, any sign at all. It's so good.
They're worth looking into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Team America.
Team America is like legendary.
Yeah.
I love that movie so much. So Cole and Mia, they hook up in the shower, and Art comes along and kind of murders them both.
Kind of. I would say not
Majorly.
Kind of.
With a chainsaw. And Cole gets it right up Main Street, and which is maybe a reference to Christmas Vacation.
Or the first movie.
I was about to say that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was thinking Christmas Vacation when like Clark Griswold's like, they're like, oh, what are you gonna do with that chainsaw? He's like, bend over and I'll show you.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, so
Maybe.
that was
Make
like
that connection at all, but yeah. But now that you said that,
Yeah.
There's actually a deleted scene of Christmas Vacation.
Damien Leone's like, this is truly inspired by Chevy Chase.
It's this weird thing, 'cause I know like they were getting some shit for being misogynistic.
Yeah.
Even though, like, horror is such a weird thing to me because, like, when you think about the killers, like, their greatest foes are always women. It's like an empowerment genre.
That's how I always saw it.
Yeah.
It was like empowering.
Yeah,
But-
and then they're saying that it's like, oh, well, it's a misogynistic genre. And I'm like, which is it? I don't get it. Because I
Yeah.
always just feel like by the end of the movie, it's always like some kick-ass woman just, like, taking on the killer.
Right.
Like, you have, like, Sidney Prescott, Laurie Strode, Nancy
Right.
Thompson. And
The
you're
final
like,
girl.
Yeah, it's just like a term. It's like
Yeah.
a real thing.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
about as popular as glasturbation.
Yeah.
Quarter.
Another quarter.
Here you go, sir.
Another
We're
quarter.
going to have to make the glasturbation jar.
We're just gonna have a jar here every
Yeah.
time. So we see, all this happen where he like cuts her up, and there's like the scene where he kind of like looks her in the eye to, like, oh, you wanted to see what it's like,
Yeah.
And then he puts the sunglasses on her, and then he goes to town on Cole.
Yeah, were you also just thinking about how much that probably hurt when you like put those glasses on her because there's also
Yeah.
like open face.
All these like open wounds.
But
and
here's the thing about that. We were talking way earlier about how these people are, most of them are sympathetic. Even her, like,
Yeah.
she's obnoxious and intrusive and all that. But even when she dies, at least for me, you still feel at least a little bad for her.
Right. Yeah. No,
I-
and
yeah.
definitely, and Cole too, because Cole is
Well,
like,
he was just a nice guy.
yeah,
you know?
yeah. He stuck up for Jonathan.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on what feelings mean?
Yeah, I don't know. You're a sociopath. I don't think you get it.
All right. Well, I'll take your word for it. Sir.
But I do enjoy after the two
Bloodbath?
murders. Yeah, when he lays down.
Oh, hey, that's actually like kind of clever. I didn't know
Like a bloodbath, yeah.
because they're in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Whatever. Go ahead.
And he does like a little blood angel.
If he didn't do that, I would have called bullshit.
Yeah.
I literally was waiting for that, like,
Yeah.
in the theater. I'm, like, on the edge of my seat. I'm like, just do it. It's a perfect button.
Yeah.
And then he did it.
Yeah.
And it was awesome.
In a very, like, David Howard Thornton manner.
Yeah.
He would have been a terrific silent film actor. I'm just saying that about him.
He really would
You're
have.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So the uncle gets a strange call. He arrives to the college, and it's Jonathan, but it sounds like
Michael
distorted.
Jackson.
Yeah. Sounds like I'm doing Goku, or what's his name, from Street Fighter.
Bullshit!
Yeah. Oh, you can. But the uncle arrives to like pick him up. Then we cut back to Sienna, and she has a dream about her dad, and he is like, "Oh, I drew this picture for you," and it's pretty much like Sienna's costume.
Warrior Angel.
Yeah,
whatever it's
Warrior Angel. And as soon as she touches it, and he touches it, like he starts to have all these like flashes of art and all this like horrible stuff, and then he just like freaks out a little bit, and then she's like, "Are you okay?" But then that's when she kind of wakes up from this like nightmare, and the father definitely like saw some shit, and so Sienna wakes up and she goes downstairs and she finds Vicky and Art hanging out, and
Hanging out.
Chilling.
Yeah,
just chilling around the tree, and but we also see who's hanging on the wall. I was
I think
like,
that's
curious.
supposed
Greg,
to
the
be
uncle.
Yeah.
It's the uncle.
That's the uncle.
Yeah.
Okay.
And his head is on top of the tree. They show it later.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I was like, I was not like really sure. I wasn't sure if it's Cole, because it looked like there was like split, but
I think he was in
couldn't
worse
tell.
shape than that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
EJ, can I ask you a question?
yeah.
Were you eating a bowl of Captain Crunch while we were watching this scene?
It was cinnamon toast crunch.
Was it cinnamon toast crunch?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I imagined this was happening and you were.
Why you gotta call me out
I'm
like
just
that?
sorry.
Why you gotta do that?
I just wanted to make sure because I feel like that was very clear that was Greg.
Oh,
And to me anyway, I just imagined you eating a bowl of cereal and not watching the movie.
I actually love to eat a bowl of cereal while I
know.
watch mass murders on my television.
That's a vibe.
Yeah, it's a vibe.
He eat and then he like
like
eats
people like drink wine.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and listen to like music or something. I like to eat cereal and watch
And masturbate.
Glastonbury.
Quarter.
There we
Damn it, $2.50.
God darn it!
I'm
going broke.
So they knock out Sienna, and when she comes to, they have her tied to a chair, along with like Gabby and the aunt.
No, Gabby's not in the room. She's
Oh
just
no,
MIA.
yeah, she's not. Yeah, she's
Yeah.
MIA. But
Don't know
like,
where she was during all this. We don't get that explanation because she
Yeah.
obviously heard shit.
Right, like she had to hear
Yeah.
what was going on.
Maybe they're like, we're gonna pull a prank on your mom. Hear me out. It's gonna be real funny.
They're like, okay, uh-huh.
She's like, oh, I love
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's a diary if you want to read it. She's
Yeah,
like,
maybe
oh.
they just gave her another diary to read.
Yeah.
She's all caught up in it.
She's
Yeah.
like, what?
Wow.
Like, all right.
Jonathan's diary.
Sick.
Shit.
So we see where Art kills the ant with a couple of rats.
Good actors, those
Good
guys.
yeah, they like go into her throat.
Yeah. So, timeline wise,
Yes.
they show a severed head,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
And
right,
they're-
in the
and they're-
cage.
Yeah, and they're
Yeah.
like, "This is your daughter." They don't
Yeah.
say it point blank, but they're like, "This is your daughter." And so she sees that before they shove that thing down her throat, filling her with rats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is some sadistic shit.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say that part did actually bother me
Because it's
bit.
kind
Yeah.
of cruel.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I mean it's fake. It's whatever, and it's not like I don't like the movie now, but it's like
Right.
that was a point where I like actually put my hand up in the theater. It's like, oh my god, really?
Whoa.
I never
yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
Not since I know you did last summer.
Yeah, when I was like fucking 10.
Yeah. And then we see where Vicky and Art kind of like tease Sienna a bit and give her a crown of thorns, and like this scene is Vicky is like really great.
I think she is so much more interesting than Art.
Yeah, like
in this
she's
scene.
like really,
She's like really like frightening. Like she feels like something that crawled out of hell.
No, for real. Even like her acting is like great, and she's wearing like all this like prosthetic makeup and stuff.
Credit for her.
Yeah,
she got pounds of fucking makeup on.
And to give like a performance through that and still be impactful and like look awesome. But yeah, so Sienna begs them to let Gabby go, right? And
sorry. Oh, go ahead. Keep going.
They also reveal at one point that Jonathan died off screen. They're like, see this skull over here? I know we have a lot going on, but this one has glasses. Do you know what that means? And she's like, my brother!
So the second most important thing to happen happens off screen.
It happens off screen. We don't even see the death of Jonathan.
This movie like literally should have some like those little screens that come up that says like missing reel.
Yeah,
like silent
Grindhouse. Yeah,
like Grindhouse, right?
Yeah, where it's like missing reel, and it just like all the action happens. I love that in Planet Terror.
Then they could do like a director's cut. It's the everything you wanted to see cut.
So again, that huge problem with the movie.
Yeah,
probably the biggest problem for me.
A part of me after seeing it the first time, I was like, oh, no way they would kill him off screen. He's probably still alive. Right? Watching it this time, I was like, I think they actually killed him off screen. I don't know.
We could get into this for quite a while.
Yeah.
I think the opposite.
Oh, you think?
I actually was the opposite transformation for me. At first, I was like, he's definitely dead. And then the more I thought about it, and I'm like, no, it's definitely not.
Yeah, because, like, you know how they have all those theories and stuff.
Oh, God.
And I think he might be, like, they put him aside to maybe be like the new Vicky in case something goes wrong.
That's a popular one theory. Yeah.
So
or that he just fucking ran away like a little bitch and is hiding.
Yeah,
it could be.
Now, if they did go the route with him being like a new Vicky, that is something that would be interesting to explore.
Right.
And Damien Leone, that's not something to shoot off screen.
We want to see it.
We want to see it. But like, I think that would make a really interesting scene between Sienna and Jonathan, and he's like all evil and possessed, and she can't hurt him.
Yeah.
Because she can't bring herself. Like, I still think you're in there. Like, I want to save you. But he won't put that in the movie because it's too dramatic and good. I would love to see that.
Yeah.
But instead, you're just gonna be, just his head on the mantle.
It reminds me of Pop Star with Andy Samberg. There's like this thing that happens where they're like, it's like a documentary about like a pop star, and they're like, can you turn the cameras off for a second? And then so you only hear sound, and this huge thing happens where they're like, like these bees come, and there's like a killer bee, and they're like, oh my god, look how huge it is, and they're like shooting and everything, and they're like, tell me you got that on camera. They're like, no, you told us to turn it off. So you just hear the whole thing play out.
That's amazing.
And so I feel like that's like this a little bit with some stuff. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you my theory real quick.
Yeah.
And maybe you didn't even think about this, and I didn't think about it till recently either. The Construction Man #1 or Demolition Man #1, whatever the fuck. You notice how when he got killed, they made a point of showing Art ripping his face off, literally, and you saw his skull.
Yes,
that's what people have been saying online, and I didn't even consider that. It's probably not true, but
no, that's good. No, that's really good.
You know, so because you don't know.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like you really don't know.
What convinced me though that it wasn't him? Talking to the kid himself at Monster Mania.
Oh, really?
He would not, obviously, he just puts up his hand and say, I know nothing, the classic. Yeah. Which he might not. But even if he does, he can't say anything. Yeah. But from our conversation, the way he reacted to what I was telling him, like body language and stuff, I could just tell. And I'm not saying I could, I'm not a genius, believe me. But, like, seriously. But he could just be a really good faker. But, no, I just got a feeling. You know how you get a feeling? A gut feeling. Yeah, I said, okay, he obviously knows, #1. And #2, he's going to be in the fourth one in some capacity.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
I felt like when I saw in the theater, I thought what they were doing was that, like, did you ever watch Dexter? You watched the first season. We talked about that before. Yeah. You know, like the Rita death
Yeah.
So, like, I thought for a second they were trying to go for that kind of an impact where, like, you walk into something where you're like, holy shit. Like, you don't see it happen, so it's shocking.
Yeah.
First time I saw it, that's what I thought. But when I was watching it last night, I'm like, I did feel like, or the other night, it felt a little empty. Like, maybe there was still more something, like, to come from this. Like, maybe they're not being honest.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, they lied to you once about it.
Right. Yeah.
Whose head is it?
And I mean,
Yeah.
and Damien Leone said, because of course he's been asked this constantly since the movie came out.
Yeah.
What's up with that? And his explanation is, well, we didn't want to show it on screen because I love the character too much to show his death, which sounds so fucking phony to me.
Was he reading that from an index card?
Right, that's right. Yeah.
He's like,
And he said it would have been right. It would have been right after the shower scene, and he said it wouldn't have been as impactful then to have that character death right after the shower scene because we need a moment to like de-stress
Relax
a little bit.
So,
Yeah.
so if that is true, you made the wrong call. Maybe like push out the shower scene. Maybe make it earlier in the film because it's like not like these movies matter in terms of how you structure this stuff.
Right.
It's like you can drop any of these scenes anywhere you want.
Right.
Yeah.
But like, no, if you are going to kill the character that way,
yeah.
then that's what's important.
Right.
Yeah, but his death is far more
trumps
important. Yeah.
Right, exactly. So my point is that whole explanation doesn't sound like it holds water with me. I think it's bullshit.
Yeah,
we'll
I think so too.
We'll just be patient with it.
Yeah,
See
until
how it
next
goes.
year.
Yeah.
Until 4 comes out.
Yeah. No, but it's funny because the first time I saw it, I remember talking after. I'm like, I think he might be like the vessel or something for the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I was like, no way they would just kill him off screen, because he's so important in number 2. But I was like, but then also the sword happened off screen, and I'm like, maybe.
Right. Yeah.
EJ was like, he's like, oh, like, what do you think happened? I'm like, huh? I woke up.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this movie's like 2 hours and 5 minutes long.
Let's just sum it up by saying this: #Jonathan lives.
Yeah,
That's what I
think.
do.
I think Jonathan lived.
Yeah.
I in my opinion, I think he lives. So Sienna begs them to let cousin Gabby go, and Art and Vicky, they also, try to play it off like they killed Jonathan and stuff, and Vicky tries to possess Sienna.
Cool
And this
scene.
is a great scene.
Yeah, this is fun
when she's
stuff.
like trying to transfer it into her.
I believe like the problem with that scene though is that she was supposed to put her hand on her forehead and say a day do a Dumbledore.
Give me the power I beg
I'm
of
pretty
you.
sure that's how you get in there.
Oh yeah, that was our trivia name at
Breaker.
Yeah, Breaker.
Oh god.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, so Brent revealed to us earlier that he may have seen EJ and I doing trivia because we're like
Fucking
trivial.
nerds.
Yeah, we're those guys.
Yeah.
But at that trivia match, our team name was A Day Do A Dumbledore, Give Me the Power I Beg of You team.
Yeah.
Was that actually the name?
Yeah,
So
so
the
he
fucking
literally
guy said it every time.
Yeah.
every single time he said it too.
The best thing was the first time he read it, he goes, A Day Do A Dumbledore. Oh, shit.
He fucking hated your guts.
Yeah, he
saying.
probably was like, oh.
He's probably just like deducting points from us.
He's like, minus
This
one, minus
fucking
one,
asshole.
minus
Every time I say this.
Yeah.
Ah, de do de dum da la. Give me the power I beg of you, team.
The team is like, it's even like our team name. We had it all written out, and then it goes ... team.
Team, yeah. Such a terrible name.
Yeah.
Anyone who has to deal with us, I feel sorry for you.
Yeah. So Vicky tries to possess Sienna, and it's such a cool scene because I love the Vicky's eyes and how they kind of have that glow.
Satan look.
Yeah, it has like the embers of of hell in her eyes, and it looks so cool.
She feels like she literally came from hell.
Yeah.
That's what's so cool about her.
Yeah, she looks awesome.
Like Art's like a goofy buffoon sometimes, and you can just kind of like giggle at what he's doing, but she's just like masturbating. Here's a quarter. She's just doing this horrific shit, and she's like a monster.
And she looks she's incredible. The makeup and just performance through that makeup, it's outstanding. But as she tries to do this, she can't do it. Like Sienna, there's something about her. She's like maybe like a chosen one or something. But there's something about Sienna we don't know, but she can't be possessed by Vicky. And they also find the sword too at this point, because it's over. She's like, no, it's by the tree or something, right? Because they're asking her for the sword. Now I was a little
confused as to why they know that she had the sword.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I was like, I think I missed this, because while I was writing this, I was, like I said, I had a lack of sleep, and I feel like
In a bowl of Captain Crunch.
as I was getting closer to the end, I was just really trying to just stay awake. Yeah, and hallucinating.
Your eyes are bleeding.
Yeah, I was like, Jonathan's just floating. What are they talking about?
Fuck is this? This movie's wild.
He's floating.
You're floating.
You're floating. So Sienna, they tried to take the sword and stuff, but she gets the sword back and she fights Art and Vicky, and Sienna is definitely getting her work in. She's just kicking the crap out of these guys, and she's getting the crap kicked out of her.
Yeah, they
too.
bash her hands with a hammer. And
Yeah,
shit.
that's another part where it's like, okay, people, really?
I know, it's rough.
What was the point?
Yeah,
It kind of had Texas Chainsaw Massacre vibes, the original one.
Yeah.
Sally. Yeah,
Yeah, she was kind of like Sally. I was waiting for Art to wheel down Grandpa.
Yeah, Grandpa, he's just trying to hit her, and it's just
God,
limp.
that movie rocks.
That movie's so
Yeah.
good. We didn't do any Texas Chainsaw Massacres.
I know.
At all.
I know.
Yeah.
It's
Which is
weird. We've
insane.
done so many episodes at this point.
Yeah.
And there's so much that we haven't
I
explored
know.
yet.
I think we've only touched one Nightmare on Elm Street, not counting Freddy vs. Dead, but we only did.
Freddy versus Dead?
Oh, Freddy! Oh my God, Freddy vs. Jason. But
This boy needs some Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
yeah. But no, we haven't done we only did Dream Warriors,
I know.
which is
You didn't
crazy.
even do the original?
No, we didn't
no.
do the original. We didn't do Freddy's Revenge.
But
we
it's awesome, though, because that just means that we have more
much.
time to annoy our listeners.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's more movies. That's what's great about this genre. There's a lot of great ones. And even some of the ones that aren't great, they're lots of fun to
I was
talk
about
about.
to say that, yeah.
Like
And,
Halloween 5.
Jon Snow, we have to get in for, because he's Nightmares is one of his favorite series, and so yeah.
And don't you just like to hear that smoky voice?
Yeah, he's a
I
legend.
I volunteer for Texas Chainsaw, just saying.
Yeah.
Oh
Just gonna say it
yeah,
right now, the
Dude.
first one, the original.
Oh my
obviously.
God, absolutely, you're in.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Okay.
We'll
definitely.
put you down for
Yeah,
TCM.
Here we're negotiating right here on the air.
yeah,
Yeah.
hell yeah. But yeah, she ends up stabbing Art into the wall, which is so cool. It's a really cool scene.
You forgot
and-
about Vicky getting
Oh yeah,
decapitated.
Vicky gets just decapitated, and it looks awesome.
Sienna's learning how to do this final girl thing because
Yeah.
she hits her with a one-liner.
A one-liner.
yeah,
Because she goes, "Tell me how this tastes," and then in my notes I put, "Like Captain Crunch, just cutting out the roof of your mouth."
you.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I think I have to leave now.
All right,
I'm leaving now.
I'm gonna cut out 20 more minutes.
I'm red with rage right now.
You can't see him right now, but he is bright red. He's sweating.
Sweating. I'm starting to turn green and back to red because
Yeah.
the Hulk is Christmas colors.
You
now.
want to know how we know that he's mad? I slid him a bowl of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and he won't even eat it.
Yeah.
He won't
Get
even
this
look
out
at
of
it.
my face.
Jesus.
Jesus
It's
Christ.
really scary.
So she decapitates
Send help.
Vicky and then pretty much pins Art to the wall. And meanwhile, there's this huge portal that kind of opens up in the living
yeah, it's
room.
like Vicky's blood opens up a portal.
Yeah, it melts
Yeah.
the floor.
Yeah, it melts the floor and the portal
But not when she's glasturbating. Here's your quarter.
Right. Oh yeah.
But seriously,
I'm gonna be rich. I'm gonna quit my job now.
Yeah.
What's the
Yeah.
so
I
like
love the term, man.
is it because she's dead that it
Is-
opens up the portal?
I guess so.
I guess.
I don't
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she ends up dying, and this portal opens, and Gabby kind of falls in.
Well, do you love how first Gabby runs over to her mother and is like talking to her, and it's
Yeah.
like, honey, your mother's obviously gone.
Yeah.
And you're old enough to know that. So
Right.
why are we saying Mom?
Mom, are you okay? It's like,
She's like, Your mom's dead.
Yeah.
Rats.
Oh, rats.
Oh,
no. It's your fault for reading the diary.
This never would have happened if you weren't so Gabby.
It's like Arrested Development. You should have left a note. That's what that is. You should have never read that diary. And so a portal opens, and she falls in, and Sienna tries to catch her with the sword. Like, she lowers the sword down so she can grab onto it,
Which is
right?
crazy because Christmas lights were available.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Might have been like,
Didn't even
you
think
could
about
tie
that.
that around you.
Or the intestines that were on the tree.
Yeah.
Any of these things would have been a better option.
Yeah.
Here, grab onto the blade of this sword.
grab the tree.
Well, no, she holds the
She
handle
gives
down
her the
to it.
handle
Yeah.
to Gabby, but still, she's pulling it up. I guess it's you're trying to show just how strong and how badass she is, and she's like, "I love you. This is hurting me. I'm gonna play back up." I get it,
Yeah.
but the entire time, a brain is there are Christmas lights that you could pull off. It's right next to you.
Yeah.
It's right next to you. You can just grab a strand, throw it down, pull her up. You know?
It's wild, and she holds on. So Sienna holds on to the blade part, while the handle is going towards cousin Gabby, and as she's holding onto the blade, Sienna starts to cut her hands, and obviously the sword gives away and it falls into the portal with Gabby, right?
Not before Gabby pulls down her diary and she's like, "I'm gonna need this.
I got a lot of reading to do.
I'm gonna be here for a while.
Fly, you fools!
Oh my god, how funny would that have been?
Yeah.
Fly, you fools.
Fly, you fools!
Oh my god, that's so funny.
But she falls in, and then she Sienna's like, "I swear I'll find you. I'm gonna find you." And it's
I don't get it, because I wish some of my loved ones would disappear into the floor during the holidays.
Well, you pretty much see her fall 200 feet, and I'm like, I would have assumed.
Yeah, it was a deep hole.
Yeah, I would have been like, she's fucking dead.
Yeah, I mean, and why even get so upset about it? She was so young. She probably didn't really make that much.
She
of an
read your
impact.
journal.
She read your journal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did she do with her
was
8
intrusive.
years of life when you really get down to it? You know.
That intrusive at that age.
I know.
Not
a
worth
little
it.
too Gabby for my taste.
So
What I'm saying is, Sienna, don't hurt yourself.
Yeah.
Not on that one.
Yeah.
And as the portal closes up and the living room becomes normal again, we see that Sienna looks at her hands and there's these huge gashes, but they end up healing.
Yeah.
And which kind of further, I guess, proves the point that she,
Reinforces that she's
yeah,
like a savior.
yeah, she is
Criticism
some
coming up at you.
chosen one.
Yeah.
So
Here's my criticism for this scene.
Yeah.
It's such a small, stupid thing, but I'm crazy. She sees her hands heal,
yeah,
and then she removes her crown of thorns, and then moments later the scene ends.
yeah.
I feel like with them having her take off the crown of thorns, it's kind of indicating that she's rejecting the role. So maybe it would have been better just to leave them on and end the scene.
Right, yeah.
Just a
Yeah.
small thing.
Yeah.
If I was on set, I'd been like, Damien, let's go talk, you and I,
Yeah.
over a bowl of Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
If that was me and I was Sienna and I saw my hands heal, I would be like, oh my god. And
I'm
then
Wolverine.
Yeah. I would have just started grabbing knives and cutting my hands open
Yeah.
and watching them heal. I'm like, I'm invincible.
Oh my god, I'm going to make so much money off this.
Run in front of a car.
I'd be like, I'll let you shoot me for $400.
Yeah. Put me on TV. I got a magic trick. I could catch the bullet. And so now we see where she also looks at the wall and Art has escaped. Like he's gone, and he is at a bus stop.
More fair.
Yeah.
And
He's got some of Brent's glasturbation quarters.
yeah, I guess so. At this
Yeah.
point, that's what he's using. I don't know. So he's sitting there, and this bus comes along, and the one producer, Falcone.
Oh, Phil Falcone.
Falcone. Yeah. He's a bus driver.
Yeah.
And the girl reading the book.
That bus driver did the most annoying thing you could do to somebody who's reading a book. Reading a book?
What's it all about?
What it's about, yeah.
When I was at my last job that I had years and years and years ago, I used to sit in the hallway and just read all the time, and people would always just walk by you and they'd just be like, "Reading a book, huh?"
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you just took me out of it.
Yeah.
What a very obvious thing.
Yeah.
Reading a book, huh?
Reading a book.
Wait, so you got
Look
paid?
at you, turning the page.
You got paid to read?
Yeah, man.
Can I take that job?
Yeah.
Give me that job right now.
Dude,
Yeah.
this job was such a joke. Like at my job I have now, I would never be able to do that.
Yeah.
But I did. I think I read like 80% of all the Harry Potter books.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's right. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My manager would walk by me, but it was just such an obvious like defiance that they just didn't know how to handle it. They're just like, shouldn't you be doing something? Like, I'm all caught up. Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was always on top of everything that I did, but when I had downtime, I would just read. And then, of course, somebody would walk by and say, "Reading a book?"
Like, no, asshole.
No, I'm just looking at the pages.
I'm trying to figure out what's going on with this.
Could you read this to
paper.
me?
Yeah.
I'm a fucking stupid.
Reading? What are you talking about?
Oh, is that what I do with this thing?
I was watching it.
Shit, man, unless I looked at a book, there were fucking pictures in it. Some of them popped out. This one's real confusing.
This one has like these things in it.
Hey, America, if you see somebody reading a book, don't ask them if they're reading a book, because you know they're reading a book, and they know you know that.
From now
reading a
on,
book.
I'm just
Every
doing
single
that.
person?
Every single person. When I get home, I'm gonna ask Robin. I'm gonna be like, reading a book.
No, what you should do, take it to the next level. Tear it out of her hands and go, "Read a book, huh?"
Reading a book.
And just throw it on the floor. And just go into the next room.
Toss it on. Yeah, I love it. Toss it into a fire.
Yeah.
But so he gets on the bus, and the girl, I think it's like, is it the podcaster? Like the Mia's co-host?
I don't know who it's supposed to be.
I
think
thought it
it's
was
just
like
some
Mia's
rando.
co-host, but I wasn't sure.
She's reading the book. I forget the name of it.
The Ninth
Circle.
Circle.
Isn't that like
Yeah.
the original name for the first ever art clown project?
Yeah, I think it was like
It
the
was-
first appearance,
It's
right?
the first short film
Yeah.
Leone did way back when.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess like art is it's a similar scene too. I think it's on a bus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he loves he loves public transit.
Yeah. She's like, you know what? I love a murderer that just loves public transportation. You know, like he doesn't buy a car. He doesn't need
No, he
insurance.
has a car. He just likes public transit.
Yeah, he's just like, oh, I'm gonna hop out of a
He's got a
bus.
beautiful car. You ever see him
Yeah.
driving around that thing?
But I think like the first short took place on a bus, and the girl is reading a book, like the Ninth Circle or something. I haven't seen it, but I watched like a video where they talked about like the origins of art
Yeah.
a little bit.
I think that's where it came from. I haven't seen
Yeah.
it either, but
And then there's like All Hallows Eve, that is just like a
bunch of- it's
collection
like
of
an
shorts.
anthology.
it's an
Yeah,
anthology,
and
very cheap,
yeah,
but oddly entertaining because I just watched it for the first time recently.
Yeah.
It was on Prime or somewhere.
I think it was, on
and,
Tubi as well.
Tubi probably, yeah.
Yeah.
And again, that's even more lower budget than the first Terrifier, and you
Yeah.
can tell.
Yeah.
But it's not. Again, you have to admire the effort that he put in.
Yeah, I always say this too, is like there's so much work that goes into just creating a film. Mm-hmm. So like no matter what, I always look at it that way. Like
Yeah.
you completed
And
a
it
film.
takes a lot of people to do it. Normally.
And yeah, it takes like a village to
Yeah.
make a film and to make it work.
I take all the credit. Though.
Yeah. Rory, like if you make a movie with Rory, he just takes everything.
I put
Yeah.
my name in like all the cast
front of every title. Yeah.
Cast.
Yeah, it's like Rory Colorasi cast,
Yeah.
and then it's like the character, the actor, and Rory
Oh,
Colorasi.
yeah.
in
The way that my
parentheses.
credits work, and I'm standing by this for the rest of my career. The credits, they have all the characters' names, they have the
Right.
departments, they're blank. I just write Rory going down it. Misspelled.
It's just Rory the whole time,
whole way down.
except a couple of the
Yeah.
actors.
No. All of them.
All
Except if I'm working with rats. I do generally put their names in there.
yeah. Oh yeah, that's
That's
true.
a different story.
No, but yeah, no, it's crazy. Like, there's so much work that goes into a film, and you being a filmmaker, you probably know this too. Like, you probably from experience, like how much effort goes into making just a short film, let alone a feature film.
Yeah.
And while you're here, feel free to take credit for the whole thing.
I don't know if the director would appreciate it.
Okay. I'll ask him.
Yeah, we know the director. They're cool with it.
So real quick thing.
You have this jar of money now, so
know.
you should be.
You can fund your own film,
Right?
Yeah.
So she's on the bus. She's reading. The guy's being insufferable, asking her what she's reading. So then they pick up art.
Yes.
So I thought it was awesome. The bus pulls up in front of them. There's a real cool lens flare.
Yeah.
I thought that was neat. I thought J.J. Abrams stepped in for a second and directed this shot.
Yeah. There's actually a really cool shot with Jonathan earlier on when
But they gave it to Gabby.
Yeah, they gave us a Gabby instead. No, he enters the room and he's about to freak out, and you see like the pill bottle.
Oh, in close up.
Yeah, it's like in close up, and he's kind of in the background of it.
Yeah, it's almost like
it's a really cool shot.
It's almost
though.
like flirting with. I'm not sure. I'll have to like look at it, but it's almost like a split diopter.
Right.
Yeah. And you could even see like the writing on the bottle.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's like it looks awesome.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that it just really stood out.
Yeah.
Like, and in terms of like,
It's like a De Palma shot.
yeah, and because there's not a lot of shots like that
Stand out.
Yeah.
stand out. You know what I
Usually
mean?
they're just wides of people being murdered.
Yeah.
Like,
And so like that scene in particular, I was like, oh, that's a good shot. But yeah, at the end, him getting on the bus and the bus stuff, I thought that was shot really well too. I thought it looked really good.
and then what happens on the bus?
So she looks over and Art's just like, yeah, he makes a noise like the penguin. Burgess Meredith.
Oh my God.
Holy smokes, Batman.
Batman, Robin show up, and he disembowels.
They climb on the side of the bus. No, but
I got my art repellent.
hurry, Robin. So
Get me my art repellent.
so
Gee
they
Willikers, Batman.
Gee Willikers, Batman.
He
It's Art the
decapitated
Clown.
Batman.
Yeah,
Gee Willikers, Batman. It's Art the Clown.
he just decapitated Commissioner
I
Gordon.
see him, Robin.
I see him, Robin.
I see him, Robin.
Art A-R.
The clown.
I love how he would just jump. He's like, C is in cat. C, like boat. They're on a boat, and it's Catwoman. And you're like, what? How the fuck did you get that? What? But anyways, they're on the bus, and Art looks over. His pupils kind of become normal again. Mm-hmm. And he smiles, and he honks the horn.
Yeah.
So I think like
Good final image.
yeah.
And then
Oh yeah.
cuts
it's
to
like
black.
yeah.
The
and it
one
cuts-
hunk.
Yeah, the one honk, and it cuts to black, and I think it just shows like Art is maybe the one vessel that they were talking about. Obviously, like something awful, terrible, a serial killer.
Yeah.
And that's why he won't die. Like he just is like that constant vessel.
Yeah.
But then the other one needs to be like someone, maybe human, too, or something. I don't know. I have no idea how that works.
I took that to mean that he's human again now at the end because Vicky's gone and at the moment there's no host for the entity, demon, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Because in the second one, it was
true.
the little girl, remember?
Yeah.
And then she's nowhere to be seen in this one, which is another thing I didn't like because I
Yeah.
liked her in the second one.
That's what I was
I was
confused
like, okay,
about
and
that
I like
too.
Vicky too, but it doesn't work as well, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's what I took that to mean. I
Yeah.
could be wrong.
No, I think that's a great theory. How about you? What did you think?
I don't think
that was?
any of that means anything.
You just think he
We're
was
overthinking
just
it?
like
I think like
we're like
We're really.
I think I have a
overthinking this.
theory here.
no, honestly, I think Damon Leone is one of those guys where I feel like he's just sort of like, I could be wrong with this, but it's sort of like what works for what he's doing at the moment. I know there's like a lot of mythology that people throw around, but I'm like, I don't hear a lot of it in the movies themselves unless
Yeah.
I'm missing something.
Yeah, no,
Because
there's really not.
you have to do like your own guesswork.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is like fun, but it's also kind of frustrating because the movie
Depending
should
on
at
your
some
mood.
point. Yeah, the movie should sort of be like guiding you to these things, but I
Right.
hear a lot of people like, this is what it means.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah, they're analyzing it like it's a fucking David Lynch movie.
Right,
Or
yeah.
like-
Or like
And it's not.
Inception.
Yeah, or Inception, right? Or
Yeah.
a Nolan movie, yeah.
Yeah, because Inception gives you everything, right? But
Uh-huh.
at the end, it just has like, oh, is it reality or like whatever,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But it's just like a one quick like, oh, what if,
Yeah.
right? Where this whole movie is like, what is
Yeah,
happening?
and like
Yeah.
it's one of those like
You're not sure.
you have to fill in your own blanks.
Yeah.
I like to think that he's gonna answer a lot of this stuff. I know he said that like
He says he is. He
yeah.
says he
he
got it
says
all
he is.
planned out.
Yeah.
He said.
So that's great.
Yeah.
I'm willing to be patient for it. But right now, like when it's just like, oh, is he alive or is he dead? I'm like, hey, he's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's still like whatever the fuck he is.
I'm going to tell you how Terrifier 4 is going to open right now. I could already see it. She's going to be sitting there in the living room, Sienna, like just deflated, whatever.
Yeah.
The front door is going to fly open. Jonathan's going to come in without his glasses and say, like, what did I miss? Or, sorry, I'm late.
Yeah.
And then he's, oh, we got to go get Gabby. And he'll be like, fuck her. I'm the one that's important here.
Yeah.
I'm
just
Finally,
saying.
I get my own scenes.
Yeah.
No, that actually would have been like a funny like Marvel tag.
Oh well,
Yeah,
I was just
yeah.
gonna say,
Like she's on the floor.
Yeah.
I like the
Sorry,
end,
I'm late.
Yeah.
I like the end credits in this where Nick Fury shows up. He's like, "You think you're the only vessel?"
Art Vengers. Yeah, I'm putting together the Art Vengers initiative.
And you just have like Jonathan on the side, and he has like a bow and arrow for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, oh, he got his weapon.
He's
And
about
he
as
didn't-
he's about
off
as important.
screen. Off screen.
He's about as important as Hawkeye in that first Avengers.
Yeah, I know. I was so mad about that
Oh,
first
man.
Avengers. But overall, what did you think?
I've told you this before. These movies are not necessarily my bag. I'm not like obsessed with the Terrifier movies or anything like that, but I'm very happy they're being made. I love
Yeah.
the fact that these movies are like punk rock. There's like the fact that it like dethroned the Joker. It's kind of
That's so wild.
yeah, and you know,
Wow.
nothing against the Joker, but like it is kind of awesome when you have like this little independent movie build itself up under its own merit,
Yeah.
and then it just kind of operates in its own rules, and it can just tell this very like unconventional storytelling. It's very like anti-Hollywood.
Yeah.
And I
Yep.
love the fact that like Damien Leone is just doing it in its own terms.
Yeah.
So like I saw this one and I think I'm with you. Like I think I like the story a little bit better in 2.
Yeah.
I think this one is a better constructed, better made film. I think Lauren Lavera's awesome. David Howard Thornton is just incredibly fun to watch.
Yeah.
So like this one, I don't know. I liked it.
Yeah.
You know, but it's again, it's just like the whole idea of what these movies are. I'm not exactly sure like what the story is half the time, and they do feel like you could just insert any of these scenes in any particular order and it wouldn't affect anything. There's no like it's like what I was saying earlier about Sienna's character. Like I don't feel like she's on a journey.
Right.
Like it's just like she's very like I think if anything very like passive in this movie until the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I want her to have like in the first act you set something up for her to do, and then the second one she kind of like goes through trying to achieve those goals.
She
the
has
ups
an
and
arc.
downs. Exactly.
Yeah.
Give me a goddamn arc, and she hasn't quite had one yet. Now this next one, we may have set everything up for her to have a story like that, but what a long way to go to get there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I would say like if I had any issues with these movies as a whole, it's just like I'm not, a big fan of the storytelling, but like I love what they're doing. So I will always show up and support these movies, and they are by far not like I'm not saying they're like trash or anything like that.
No.
They're just they're just a lot of like murder porn.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not your cup of tea, but
Yeah. Like I'm never gonna like feel the way about these movies that I do like Halloween
exactly.
or like
Yeah.
like Nightmare on Elm Street, Universal.
monsters.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I'm like an old man now, and I'm like one foot in the grave.
Sin, brother.
Yeah, man. So like it's somebody else's Nightmare on Elm Street,
Yeah.
and that's cool. I love how much people love these movies. I think it's so cool. Like I think the fact that anybody celebrates any of these franchises anymore is remarkable because The franchises that were great, these studios have successfully destroyed and tarnished. And Damien Leone apparently had some kind of offer from a bunch of studios who wanted to buy into this whole thing. And he's like, nope, you guys are going to fuck it up.
Yep.
And he's right.
He's right.
He's right. Yeah.
I know he's listening. I know he's a huge fan of the show. Just keep doing what you're doing, man, because like these movies, they are their own thing, and that makes them special.
Yeah, I totally agree. How about you, Brent?
Similar. I mean,
What do you say?
well, yeah, pretty much. But so again, 2 is always going to probably be my favorite in the series, no matter how many they make. Only because that's the one that converted me into a supporter. Because I told you I didn't really like the first one. I still don't.
Right.
I appreciate it more than I like it, like Rory said.
Yeah.
But I watched 2 one random night on Prime or whatever a couple years ago. I didn't watch it when it came out in theaters. I wanted to, and I was like, fuck that. Because I didn't like the first one, and it was the same people, and I'm like, I don't care. Even after the headlines came out and it did so well and all that, and it's like, fuck that. So, fast forward months later or whatever, and it was on Prime, and I just sat down one random night to watch it. I was like, because I had nothing better to do, and I was like, we'll see what. And I waited till it was a weekend because it's like 2.5 hours long. So it's like, okay, fine, whatever. We'll just see if this is any better than the first one. And again, years later, I'm still shocked at how much I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
More than I expected.
Yeah.
And again, like you said, 3 is, story-wise at least, is a step back from 2, in my opinion. It's definitely technically better. Each one gets better as he makes more. But again, and I don't hold any of them up on a pedestal like with Halloween or Black Christmas, and I don't think I ever will. But again, you got to appreciate it. He is passionate about it, and he gives it his all. And the other thing is, everybody involved with these movies is passionate, and you can tell that.
Yeah.
The fact that they go to all these conventions, they talk to people, they're very humble. At least, again, I haven't talked to Thornton because his line at Monster Mania was like miles long. Do you remember? I was like, I can't stand here all day as much as I would like to.
There's
I just can't.
so many like people at that convention, like Eli Roth, Ty West,
Alec Baldwin,
Catherine Newton. And David Howard Thornton's line was like the biggest line.
Yeah. You would have had. They capped it at one point because they wouldn't let anybody else get in line.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm sorry, I can't. I was only there for the day. I just drove down for the day and then drove home.
What day did you go?
Saturday.
Oh yeah, so we went Sunday.
Okay. All right. Yeah. But I was like, I can't. I spend the whole day doing that. I can't do that. But I talked to Damien. I talked to Elliot Fulham, Jonathan. And again, they were both just the nicest guys. I also talked to Phil Falcone. He was there at one point. The producer, the bus driver.
Yeah, the bus driver.
And again, he's and really we have him to thank for these because he's the one who gave Damien the money to make the first one.
Yeah, which is awesome. Now he's like probably like rolling. Yeah.
Right. And again, the nicest guy. All 3 of them, nicest people.
Yeah.
They clearly know that they wouldn't have the success without the fans, and they never lose sight of that because they always do these appearances and they never stop, really.
Yeah. It's awesome. Like I like they are really, really, really good to their fans.
Yeah.
I've never heard anyone complain at all like on the different message boards of like on Facebook, like the Monster Mania group or whatever, like, horror movie groups and stuff. And everyone is always like, "Oh, they're the nicest guys."
Yeah,
they are.
So
they all like, even like Lauren Lavera when we were talking about how she like
amazing.
really puts everything into it. It's like they all just seem to understand that like what's happening within these movies is success. It's so rare, and I think they're all just like appreciating the fact that it's anything.
Yeah,
and they're probably all very thankful for it because it probably changed their lives. Like I saw that she was supposed to be at that convention.
Yeah, and she had to cancel because she was
filming obligations.
Yeah,
and it's like it's opening up
doors
for her, but she seems to still be very loyal to it. She's not like, oh yeah, I did that Terrifier movie.
Yeah,
she's just like,
she's doing like
Terrifier fucking rules. She's like that kind of person.
She's doing like full on photo ops in costume.
Yeah.
Like the Angel
Warrior costume.
Yeah, the Angel Warrior costume.
Despite the fact that she said that shit is super uncomfortable to wear.
Yeah.
Like she's on record saying it's super uncomfortable. But yet she's putting it on.
But she's still doing it, yeah.
Now, EJ knows that because that's what he does for cosplay.
Yeah. And I don't think it's uncomfortable at all.
I know.
Lavera.
I know. I remember you said if you just drop a few of the pieces,
I should be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you were. You were.
Right.
And it was the best convention until we got escorted out of the building.
Yeah. And I was like, what?
I thought
Whatever.
I thought this was America.
Yeah, this is America, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this movie is awesome, like a good installment. It has some story issues.
Yeah.
Some stuff they probably could have done to enhance the script and storytelling a little bit. But as far as like a horror film, it's awesome. And to see so many people just love and support this, and like it was selling out not just at one theater but both theaters. It was just like selling out. And it's awesome. I love to see horror movies be successful because I love horror movies so much. And
you're like how I am with these movies, where you're not like you're not like, you don't consider yourself like a massive fanboy, but you have like that level of like, I'm gonna fucking see these because they're kind of rad.
Right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And absolutely. And what's really funny about this too is at that Monster Mania, I was going to meet Catherine Newton because I loved like Lisa Frankenstein, and
she was super nice.
Yeah, she was super cool, and
So what's a little side thing before you go into that?
Yeah.
Did you meet her when you were there?
No.
So like, what I really loved about Catherine Newton is that I've never seen somebody handle a line like the correct way like she did. Because sometimes they talk to people too much and it's like this huge line doesn't move.
Right.
And then there's people who are just like way too dismissive. And like they're just kind of like, oh yeah, whatever. And they send you like, she's just sort of like knows how to talk to people but keep the line moving.
Yeah.
Like even like these guys came in for like a selfie. And like, you know, they're just being real awkward next to her, and she's like, "Put your arm around me and let's take the photo." She's like real nice about it. And like, I don't know, but yeah, she was super cool.
She was really
continue
cool.
with your story, sir.
No, she was awesome, and I love Freaky. Like that movie came out
with Vince Vaughn.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Rocks.
Yeah,
and so she's just a rad dude, and so when I met her, she's like, Did you see Terrifier? And I was like, oh yeah. She's like, which guy is the one that directed it? And so I like was like, oh, it's the guy like with the bald head, and like a hat and stuff. And she's like, oh, which one was the guy then? It's not the guy in the plaid shirt, like David Howard Thornton? I'm like, no, he played Art the Clown, like the character. She's like, you know that movie beat the Joker? And I was like, oh yeah, I know. Like, but she was like so like blown away by his line, like the line.
She's
from
probably
the
looking to
Terrifier
get
stuff.
in on that Terrifier money.
Yeah, I think she was like literally like, who can I talk to about
like,
getting in on that?
Oh, she's having her agent call Damien up right then.
I bet.
And they'd be lucky to have her because she's a great
really
actress.
seemed like that. Like she was like, who do
which
I
is
the director and who is the clown? You know, like and like trying to ask me all the questions, and I'm like, oh yeah, this and this.
What if she was like, you want a job?
You want a job, kid?
All I need is a chance. Somebody give me a chance. EJ is now Catherine Newton's agent.
It's like crap. Sorry, a little Spider-Man reference.
Mega crap.
Crap. Mega crap. So no,
Somebody get me photos of Damien Leone.
I'm on it. No, but she asked me all about Terrifier, like, and I was just like, oh, she definitely seems like she's a fan or is like interested in that now. You know what I mean?
She's like, I can't keep up with these Marvel bombs.
She's like
I need to
was
hit.
in Ant-Man 3.
She's like, I thought that was gonna be like a soft pitch.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
The only thing about that movie that is memorable is just like the cast.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I know Jonathan Majors was in some hot water, but like he was awesome in that movie.
Yeah, no, he was great. But
he's actually like, did you see Creed 3?
No.
Yeah.
What a fucking performance in that movie. Like that part, there's a scene in it right before like he, you know, the first time you see him box, it is horrifying.
Yeah.
Like that scene where he's just like staring the guy down and it's like real something. But Marvel not doing as well as it used to.
No.
Or DC.
Or
DC.
Well,
Hopefully
We'll see about
turnaround.
that. We'll see. Yeah.
Hopefully Superman is what I'm hoping it is.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I think this movie is definitely worth checking out as a horror fan.
Yeah.
And
but not if you're even flirting with being a horror fan. This is for like horror
This
fans.
is for the hardcore people.
Yeah, this is for like...
This is like deep. Yeah. I would not be like, Oh, have you ever watched a horror movie and they're like, no, hey, watch Terrifier.
Yeah.
Hey,
No,
hey
that is
Grandma,
not, no.
what was the last horror movie you watched? Costello made freaks.
You should watch the first Terrifier.
She's like, wow, that was hot. What, Grandma? The fuck?
I got the hatch for that clown.
Got a piece of glass?
Oh, boy.
Oh, no.
That's a half a quarter. That's fucking 15 cents.
15 cents. Got a nickel and dime over here. But let's go into emojis. Rory, do you want to start us off?
Sure. Let me pull out my emojis book.
Okay.
I definitely have things written down.
Whoa.
I got mouses, lots of those.
Yeah.
There's like 5 of them. Mm-hmm. I got a clown.
Yeah. Okay.
I got glasses.
Oh, God, really?
I got a skull. I got a skull.
Yeah. The skull's good.
Skull.
I got a snowflake. There's like a Sub-Zero gun.
Yeah.
I got a Santa Claus. And
Yeah.
I'm done lying.
God, I thought there was a limit to how many we could have.
Oh man,
No.
keep going.
Fucking
keep
15.
going.
I got like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
We got a guy who went for 6 hours emojiing it up.
Pretty sure he went through every single emoji.
Yeah, sometimes he was just saying shit after a
That's-
while.
Yeah.
Making up his own.
But how about you, Brent? What are your
I got like
emojis?
4. And
That's
they're
fine,
like,
me
some
too.
of them are reused from this guy.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Santa, of course. I got the clown.
Yeah.
I wanted to have a chainsaw, but they don't have that shit, so we just had to go with the axe.
Yep.
Because that's okay.
Yeah.
And then just a blood drop, because there's lots of those.
Yep. I would say so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair assessment. And then I would say my emojis are 2 Santas, one for Art and one for Daniel Roebuck. An axe. And a diary, because that shit is juicy. All the cereal info you need is right in that diary.
Yeah.
You know everything about cereal now.
All of Sienna's thoughts on John Stamos in one book.
God.
Oh yeah, Uncle Jesse. So let's get into plugs. So Brent, do you want to go first? What do you have? Any film projects coming out that you want to talk about?
The one that we were alluding to earlier. And again, it's not my film, so I'm not going to take credit despite what you guys tell me to do.
Oh, we'll see.
Take it credit, yeah.
We'll see.
Edit, re-edit, where it's like
Yeah.
I credit, get
Hello,
all the
my
credit.
name is Brent. I made movie.
Yeah, it's all like different pictures and choppy. No, but go ahead.
So I just served the first AC on that assistant camera.
Yeah.
And I have a small role as a news reporter for like 15 seconds of airtime.
Hell yeah.
But it's funny because the film opens with the news report. So I'm the first person you see on screen.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I'm like, all right, cool. Which I did not edit it, so that wasn't my choice.
yeah.
So that's coming out February 8th down in East Stroudsburg at the Pocono Theater. It's a small, like,
Okay.
2 auditorium theater.
Yeah.
And the only reason it's there is because that's where the director's from.
Oh, okay.
So it's called On Thin Ice.
On Thin Ice?
On Thin
Awesome.
Ice. And oddly enough, she is not going to be there, the director, which I'm like, she asked me and a couple others to go there and rep the movie and to participate in the Q&A because she's like, I'm going to be out of town that day. And I'm like, okay, I mean, it's your loss. It's your movie. But so that's where I'll be on the 8th, which is a Saturday night.
Okay.
So that's coming up. What the fuck was the other thing? I had something else.
Hell yeah.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal.
It's I also serve on the executive committee for the Northeast Film Festival, which is run out of Waverly.
Oh, cool.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I heard of it.
Yeah, it's relatively new.
I
Just
had a flick in there once.
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like 3 years ago?
Yeah.
Like 2 years ago, I think.
This is my
Was it
first
2?
year
Yeah.
being involved, so
Yeah.
I don't remember that. Sorry.
It's all good.
But
It was a splash.
yeah.
It was huge.
So that's coming up. I don't know the exact dates, but early April for a weekend.
Early April?
Like Friday
Yeah.
to Sunday. And I should know the dates, but I don't remember. And then final thing, and this is just for my own amusement. We were talking about conventions.
Yeah.
There's another one coming up at the end of February, the last weekend of February in Pittsburgh. It's a smaller one.
Oh, okay.
like one of those like in the conference area of like a hotel, so a much more smaller, intimate one.
Like a
which
creature features kind of thing.
Yeah.
which I like better because
Me too.
again, you have more. There's less people,
Yeah.
and you have more opportunity to look
Absolutely.
around and talk
Plus
to
of
the
a
guests.
fire hazard.
yeah. Exactly.
So that one is called Horror Realm, REALM Realm.
Oh, cool.
And the only reason I'm going, full disclosure, because Lauren Lavera and Elliot Fulham are going to be there.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
So, and I want to meet her. 'Cause
Yeah.
Again, we were denied that choice or that chance in Monster Mania.
Yeah.
I already talked to Jonathan, but that's okay. I'll talk to him again because he's a great kid.
He's cool. Yeah.
He's a cool kid.
Yeah. I know he's like a big music.
He's a musician.
Yeah.
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 Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Very active.
Like
online.
really, because I saw like a couple videos like that popped up randomly.
Yeah.
And it was like him talking about different albums. Like I guess he collects vinyl and stuff.
He collects vinyl
Yeah.
and he actually like sings too.
Yeah.
And has like I don't know
Sounds like
three
Michael Jackson.
or It is a very breathy type of voice. Like it doesn't sound like his normal voice at all.
Yeah.
But that's the case with a lot of people.
You know what's like really weird about that? I saw one of his videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
True story. And the frame, like another frame comes in and bumps his out, and it's actually Gabby performing.
Oh man, that sucks.
Yeah, man, he can't get away from
Yeah,
that
that's
girl.
bullshit.
Fucking
Yeah.
Fuck
Gabby,
Gabby.
cousin Gabby.
Gabby, we don't like Gabby.
Yeah.
No.
Damn.
We're not rescuing her in number 4. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Gabby,
We're just gonna forget about her.
She's dead.
She's leave her in hell.
So dead.
Yeah.
She's in
By the
hell
way-
where she belongs.
By the way, I did think it would have been funny if that movie ended where she's like, you know, she falls into the pit and then it like kind of closes and she's like, I'm gonna find you, and she's like, I'm in the basement.
I'm okay.
Oh, okay, I guess this whole thing resolved itself.
Hey, I'm okay. I just broke a leg.
Oh god, there's something sticking out of my leg. I'm okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, one of those rats are biting me.
The only thing, the sword has pierced me through the heart.
I think I should be okay.
I don't know if using that was a good idea.
Jeez, can I read your diary?
It was just like salt in the wound.
It's burning real bad. Merry Christmas.
But dude, that sounds awesome. Have you heard of Creature Feature?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
in
heard of
Gettysburg?
it.
Okay, that is like
Never
one of
been
my
there.
favorite. Yeah, I think that's like my favorite horror convention right now.
Yeah.
It's more on the low key side.
Yeah. So smaller.
And yeah, and their events are like awesome.
Yeah.
It's very, very like made for fans. They have like screenings for movies with like Q&A from the cast.
Yeah.
They have concerts. Like this year, it's Tim Capello from Lost Boys, the
Oh,
saxophone.
Yeah. The saxophone.
Dude, I like a couple years ago he did it, and it was incredible.
Yeah,
I was like,
sure.
this guy's 65 and still ripped and like killing
Does
it.
he still sweat like a fucking
Yeah.
hog too?
Yeah, he's just
They
up
spray
there.
with a hose to keep up the illusion.
I still believe. And I'm like, I just was like really channeling my Lost Boys energy.
Is he
Yeah.
kind of like he finishes that song and everyone's just like staring at him and he just plays the same song?
yeah.
He's like, the only one I got.
Yeah.
He does a lot of like really cool stuff. He used to play for Tina Turner, and so he has like some songs that, he's awesome. It's definitely worth it. But yeah, you should check out Creature Feature.
Yeah, definitely.
I think. Are you gonna go this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna go too.
Yeah.
The big guest that they announced so far is Tommy Chong from
jeez.
Cheech and Chong.
Yeah.
And what's the actor's name from Silent Night, Deadly Night?
No, just call him Billy.
Yeah,
Oh,
Billy.
Billy. Yeah.
Billy,
Nobody knows
yeah.
his real name.
He's Guy.
It's Andrew Divoff.
If we're not doing your episode, I'm not remembering your name.
All right.
Yeah.
That's what I tell other people.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Are you gonna mention my name? I'm like, no.
But it's
No,
they
so we
didn't
just keep
announce
calling
it.
her Gabby. We don't call her by her real name.
Yeah. Rory, how about you? Do you want to go into your plugs?
I sure do. I've got Ravenview Productions,
know
film
about
production
them.
company, where we make movies and release podcasts such as this one.
Yes.
If it wasn't for Ravenview Productions, you wouldn't even be hearing our stupid voices right now.
No.
So if you're not like into Ravenview Productions, then you can go fuck yourself.
Then you're out.
Yeah, you're out. We got Fourth Cut Reviews, our keyboard warrior pal
Yeah.
doing things, reviews, sometimes videos. I don't know.
Porn.
Porn mostly.
Porn.
What kind of porn?
Soft.
Glasturbation
There
porn.
you go. I needed you to say it, so I don't have to pay it. We got Variant Season, our pal Will Perna's band.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Some fucking awesome musicians writing some rock music that's probably better than any of the garbage you're listening to, everybody at home. Sorry for being so antagonistic today, but a fifth of Jack is a fifth of Jack. Grave Diggers, the pot pie that, has a body count.
Yeah.
It's the only one I can think of. You eat it, you might eat some glass. We don't know. Oh, God. Schwartz Dreamboat.
Hell yeah.
Our local comedian, resident comedian. If you're not following him on all the socials, then what the fuck? Fuck you.
What are you doing with your life?
Please, look him up. Schwartz Dreamboat. He's his comedy and his appearance put together the Dreamboat status.
He's been on 2 or 3 episodes
yeah,
now.
always crushing it.
So funny.
If you were laughing, you were listening to his episode.
Yeah.
Real Chronicles, our pal Dave Gonzalez, friend of the show.
Friend of the show.
That's his podcast that you can look up. I pop in there. And then you can also find him at the Cinematic Reel, and you can check out his reviews on RottenTomatoes.com because he's got a real gig, unlike us screwballs.
Yeah.
We don't got shit. We have to borrow money from people all the time.
Yeah.
Even Brent, we got to talk to you later. I got a scheme I want you to be
Bridge,
involved in.
we have a couple questions.
Yeah, I want your money. But anyway, last thing, most important thing, save the best for last. Kitties of any PA Pet Rescue.
Yeah.
Look them up. You can actually find them on our website, FREAKQUELSpodcast.com. Right? That's what it's called?
Yeah.
EJ, you're nodding your head with
That's
approval,
correct.
so I got it right. Yeah, you can go on there. There's a link there. You can click on it, and you can adopt some cats. You can get them some food. You can just get involved
It's
helping
cold
cats.
out.
It is so fucking cold outside right
Yeah.
now. I saw a snowman telling me it was too cold.
Yeah.
I don't know why he was talking.
It's cold out here, right?
Cold enough for you? And then a car ran him down. It was really fucked up.
Is that a book?
I'll never get that out of my head. Yeah.
Fuck you, snowman.
Fuck you, snowman. But no, Kitties of any PA Pet Rescue. It's where I got my cat Ella, and she's not cold. She's spoiled as fuck. She thinks she's got it hard, but she lives on. She's got a little banana she sleeps on, and sometimes she sleeps with me underneath the covers. She's got it made. So you can help change a cat's life and get them off drugs. You can get them off the alcohol. You can get them enrolled into colleges, and they can become functional members of society.
Yeah.
I saw a cat one time, hooked on whatever you got, and his whole life went down the shitter.
He was on that pink cocaine.
Yeah.
The Watusi, is that what it's called now?
Yeah, he was on that too.
Yeah.
Whatever you got, is what he said. That's what he was addicted to. But anyway, that's all I got for plugs. It's been real.
It's been real. I like it. Yeah, really fast. Check out Adam Farley and Krista Lou's music. It's on iTunes or Spotify, like wherever you listen to music.
Wherever you listen to your music.
And Adam, it's a very like pop sound. It's awesome. He's amazing. And then check out a song he wrote for his son called Carson's Song. It's amazing. It brought me to tears.
real banger.
Yeah, it's a banger. And then check out Krista Lou's EP, Songs from the Hallway. It has a very like Billy Joel kind of
I think it's
vibe.
more Ben Folds 5.
Oh, Ben folds. He
That's
keeps
what Vince
folding.
always says.
Ben keeps folding. And
Ben Drywall 5.
yeah. And then check out Three Jack's Burger Bar. The burger of the month is the
Port Authority.
yeah.
You could ask me what's on it. I don't know. But it smells delicious.
Meat.
Come eat it.
Yeah, come meet it.
Just come eat that burger.
Yeah. Meet it and eat it.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's what I always
Beat
say.
the meat with your feet and eat.
Oh God. Masturbation.
Quarter.
Quarter.
No.
Also check out our buddy Al Snow is doing the Scottish play this weekend, and
You've missed it if you're listening to this episode.
oh no, it would be this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this episode's not going to air.
Oh no,
till next
it's
week.
this weekend and next weekend.
Oh, well,
But this
disregard what I just said.
yeah.
My snarky shit over here.
So check out Elle Snow, who is amazing, playing a witch in the Scottish play at Actor Circle in Providence Playhouse She is a killer. She's amazing. One of my favorite actors. So check her out. And then I have a show coming up. I'm acting in at the Diva Theater at the end of the month. It's a bunch of one acts, and I'm really excited. I have a really funny character that I'm doing.
Don't support him.
Don't come and boo.
Yeah.
Boo me at the end.
Just let him know what it's about.
Just like when I walk out on stage, everyone claps for all the different actors as they come out. When I come out, I want everyone to boo.
Dead silence.
Or dead silence. That's even better.
I just
It's
want
even more embarrassing. Yeah.
I want one voice to sound scared that just goes, "That's the guy."
As I step right up into the center. That's the guy.
That's him, officer.
That's him. But yeah, no, so I'm doing that show. It's at the end of the month. It should be funny. I'm in 2 of the one acts. And then our pal, Jon Snow.
Metal Messiah, Jon Snow.
He is one of the best performers you could ever see live. And I'm not even joking. He's incredible. So make sure...
Beautiful as the day is long.
Beautiful and incredible. He is playing a ton of shows coming up. Like, their schedule is filled.
I saw him Sunday.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, he had performed...
at the Ritz, right?
Well,
on Saturday?
he did the Ritz, but the night before that, I think he was in New York.
Yeah.
So he did like these 2 back-to-back shows, and boy, I know that guy puts everything into his performances, so he looked like... You know what I mean? There's just...
Yeah, you could tell he's like, oh, I feel relaxed today.
There was a pulley system holding him up. I'll just put it that way.
No, but his live shows are something you do not want to miss. So make sure to check out EasternTributeCollective.com, or you could check out their socials like Instagram and Facebook. So check that out. And then finally, I want to give a shout out to Mike Vinci.
R. Da Vinci.
R. Da Vinci, who runs Shantytown Design. Oh my god, I can't even think it's okay. Anymore. But he runs Shantytown Design, and he's the one that designed our website, which you can check out at FREAKQUELSpodcast.com. You can check out all our pictures there.
Get some merch.
We got merch up there. Glasses.
Photos, links to some, things that you should be occupying your time with.
Right.
People who deserve it.
Yeah. But yeah, check that out. And Scranton Punk Collective, there's a link. And Jess Maone designed our logo, so thanks to Jess Maone. I think with that being said, thank you very much to Brent. Please come back anytime you want. Seriously.
Well, we got some Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
We do.
Yeah, we're going to definitely do that. Yeah, that's you already claimed it. So
it was the comedy of the decade, I believe is how it's been written.
Yeah. The funniest film that you could ever see. John Larroquette's in it, so
yeah.
Night Court.
Make some jokes.
So it makes sense.
Yeah.
He's on Night Court, which is a real funny show.
Yeah.
It's real funny.
Yeah, real funny.
It makes me laugh.
Giggling right now just thinking about it. That John Larroquette.
Oh, he got me. As soon as the title shows up and he's reading all the words, I'm like, yeah, he's good. He's so good. But anyways, please come back anytime you want. It was awesome having you. I knew as soon as I met you and we started talking, because this is our first time we met. And so I was like, I like his energy. I already knew. I was like, this is going to be good. Yeah.
I've been watching it for about a week now from afar.
I believe it.
So I was like, this got to be fun.
He told me. He was like...
Fucking scoping it out.
He was like scoping. And,
photos, notes.
Yeah. And thank you to all you guys listening at home. We really appreciate it. Thank you for always tuning in, sending us emails, and that Rory never reads. And
I don't know how to read.
And no, just messages online, and we just appreciate it so much. We love you guys, and some people write really nice messages that really mean a lot. And, which is incredible. I know that we just got serious there for a second. So, Rory, do you want to say something fucked up so people don't think we're serious all the time?
I don't appreciate anything you people do.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for listening at home. Thank you to our guest Brent. You were awesome. And with that being said, thank you for listening to Is Jonathan in this movie or not? This has been the Brain View production. Dan?
What's your heart out tonight?
I'm good because I'm off tonight. So like
I was gonna ask you to quit if
I was.
just for the show.
I'll just quit my job. I don't care.
Okay.
Test your loyalties.
Okay. Loyalties. A+.
I actually got him to break up with his girlfriend and everything. It was awesome. I want to see how far this guy will go.
You say that so proudly, bro.
Yeah, I know. I'm sick. I love to toy with people's lives.
You're a homewrecker.
I am, and it's a lot more satisfying than you'd think. Watching other people's lives fall apart, because it gives you this feeling of I'm doing okay, because these people are all
that's
suffering.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
You know
We
what
all
I'm saying?
think that way.
Yeah.
Why are you
hell
looking
yeah.
at me like I'm a monster?